what's up? Welcome to Normal America Show. Host Rob Noor. We have supposed to be a special show today. I am not certain that this will occur. And I know that you all are going to accuse me of being a liar and that this was some sort of joke. What I'm prepared to do is to read my DMs, which normally I would have an issue with reading DMs. But it is a Nigerian hacker that hacked my ex account, so I don't feel that bad. Also, it might still happen. So I'll give you the deets on what's going on. At 2 p.m. today, he was in. And then I gave him the instructions on how to do it, and he hasn't got back to me. I don't know if I frightened him because I kind of laid some ground rules, which I'll explain here in a minute. But I'm going to be really pissed off if the guy hacked my account and caused me grief. And now he fucked with me again, claiming he would call in for the show. And he did not. But I swear to you, this is not some comedy bit. I talked to this guy. In fact, you might even be able to see how long the phone calls were. I talked to this guy. There's a 5-minute call. 39-minute call. 40-minute call. 8-minute call. 1-minute call. 1-minute call. So, I mean, I talked to this guy over an hour setting this up. I did not see the Jesse Lee Peterson thing, so we'll make the best of it. We'll do a show. Yeah, maybe I'll try to call him live. I don't know. We'll see what we could do. I'll try. I will. So first I'll set it up and let you know what's all going on. But anyways, if not, we'll still do a show. There's other things to talk about, but the Tyler Oliveira H1B vid, yeah, getting scammed again. So, brief rundown. I talked to the student on the phone and kind of gave him the business about getting my account back, which to his credit, he did follow through with giving me my ex account back. So it looks like that's all good. I also mentioned setting this up, and I told him if I made super chats while I was interviewed with him, I would give him up to $50 worth of those super chats if he agreed to do the interview. He said yes. He was very friendly after that. He was never overly rude anyways. Nonetheless, on Sunday, he messaged me. He was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Not much. I'm doing Easter at the in-laws' house." And he's like, "Oh, okay. How have you been?" And I was like, "Good. I'll hit you up in the next day or two. We'll get set up." "Okay," he said. And then this was how the conversations went today. I said, "You interested in doing an interview tonight?" He said, that was at 11:47. "You still interested?" He said, "Okay, bro." I said, "Will you be," this is the ultimate insult. I said, "Will you be able to use StreamYard through a computer to call in? I could walk you through it. All you'll need is a computer and a microphone. If not, we could use a Google Voice number. The sound quality will suffer, but that's also doable." And he responded, "I do not have a computer," which I have to admit, the prospect of being hacked by a Nigerian scammer who doesn't own a computer is somehow more bleak for me. I imagine, do you remember those commercials for the jitterbug? Let's see if I can find this. Like, I think I got hacked by a guy with this phone.
Now there's a whole new cell phone experience that's simple, helpful, and affordable. It's the Jitterbug.
Bigger buttons, a powerful speaker. The sound is loud and clear.
And no one else gives such personal service.
May I add that name to your phone list, Mrs. Davis?
Cell phones frustrated my parents until I gave them the Jitterbug.
Yeah. It's easy to use, affordable.
And there's reliable service wherever we go.
And in Nigeria.
time for a complicated phone. Everything
I'm
about
speaking
Jitterbug
now.
is simple. You gotta love that.
Affordable Jitterbug service starts at only $10 a month with no contracts. Order.
There you go. I got hacked by a guy with the big Jitterbug phone. To be like, now listen, you make fun of the Jitterbug, but I'll be honest, I sort of wish that's the phone I had. I think my life would be a lot simpler. I have fucking fat fingers and I have trouble seeing shit, and I'm tired of the smartphone. You know? I feel like my life would be much simpler with a Jitterbug. It claims that's from 2002. I don't know that could be right, though. I seem to remember it after that. That says the ad was 2003. Yeah, I don't know. But now someone said this. All these scammers work in a network, usually give these accounts, but a central group who has the means of laptops. Truly, how much imports you think they're going to their country with very few electronics? Yeah, my guess is, now I'm just going to give you, I did get my X account back. I did pay $50 to get my X account back. The X customer service was zero help. They did absolutely nothing for me. They basically were like, we acknowledge that it looks like your password and your email's been changed, and it looks from a device that's not normal. However, in order to better service you, please, in 7 days, refile a report, which I did. Never heard anything back the second time. So, hacked at the PC at the local library. My guess is, this is my guess. I have no experience with this whatsoever, but I did ask him on the phone if he works alone, and he said yes. I don't believe that. I believe that he probably works with a group of people and that they just fish like an ass load of accounts. And then when it comes to the actual like DMing, like the direct message, like, hey, negotiating a price to get your money back, I think they probably farm it out to dudes like this dude. And they tell this dude, we'll give you fucking 5% or 10% of any payment that comes through. So if I end up paying $50, this dude probably saw $5, is my guess. And then it's probably structured like a gang or a scam business or something. And my guess is the majority of the money ends up going to them. Now, in all honesty, one of the concerns I had for the hacker, believe it or not, is I didn't know if that's true. If it's just yourself, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do an interview. What do I care? But if you're working with a group, that group might not want you talking to some weird guy with a stream, right? They might be like, no, we don't want you fucking talking, saying anything that could give away our methods or our location or anything like that. So we're going to say no. But then in my head, I was like, but what would be tempting for this guy is, if that's true, I was very interested, because I was interested to see if he gave me a different address to send the Bitcoin. Because to me, that would be a sign that, like, the first thing went into an account that's not his. But this time, if I send him money, it's his account, because this isn't him working through this group. Well, yeah, $50 worth of Bitcoin. So I don't know what that is. I didn't literally send 50 Bitcoins. I actually didn't give a fuck about the X account. The only reason I wanted it back was so it would stop spamming people in my DMs from my account. I didn't give a shit. I just started a new X account. It didn't bother me. But I felt bad for the people that I followed that were now being spammed through no fault of their own. So, I don't know if this is the message that scared him off. This is literally what I said to him. He said at 2:23, he responded, said he didn't have a computer, but he was still interested in doing it. I said, a couple things for the interview to protect us both. We will not be telling people how to break the law, so you are to give no advice on hacking. Give me whatever name you want to use, but I recommend not saying anything that could identify you. When we ask your age, we will simply say you are under 21 to further protect identifying information. I figure we'll go at least a half an hour, if that works for you. He read it. That was at 2:30. Then at 5:45, I said, checking in, we still good tonight? He read it and didn't respond. And then I messaged him right as I was coming live, like, hey, if you still want to call in. So we will try to call. I will try to call him here in a minute. Yeah, maybe that did sound like a Fed. Maybe. But my concern, look, I don't want, to be quite fair, I'm not trying to get this dude in trouble. I'm not going to lose sleep if he gets arrested for hacking people's shit, though. I'll be honest. So I was just being honest with him. But in addition, I don't want to say anything on YouTube that could get me in trouble. So I don't want it to be like, look at that, Rob Noerr's got a guy on giving a tutorial on how to hack people's X accounts. So I just wanted to be clear with him. I didn't want him to fucking come on here and go, oh, here's what you do. Like people taking notes or shit. So I just wanted to be upfront with him. Don't try that. There's other things he could talk about with it, like give us advice on how to not get scammed. That would be fun. Well, I asked him the time that he would be comfortable with, and I mentioned 8 p.m. Eastern time, and he said yes. So he basically chose the time. But this actually upsets me more than hacking my X account because one second. This is unrelated. This is related to my friend who I'm going to see this weekend. I'm very excited. So, yeah, Imaginarium's just going to call him with a Nigerian accent. That is true. No one would know the difference. Yeah, the Fed. I agree. The Fed's not going to. Now, I was quite specific. I told him it is 2:30. The interview is in 5.5 hours. 8 p.m. Eastern time, United States. What time is that for you? Yeah, that time is this for me. That's good. Got it. Good. So he was, maybe it was Brian Shapiro. Anyways, real bummer. That pisses me off. Now I owe my audience because I feel like I've clickbaited my audience and that's not my intent. That does piss me off. The only other time something like this has happened, it wasn't really me. It was the extravaganza. I was doing the extravaganza and Vince Offer, is that his name? The ShamWow guy was supposed to call in. It was a Thursday or a Friday show. And we're in the studio in the background and you can just hear the dude on like a shitty mic like, what? What am I supposed to hit? Ah! And Mr. E's like, God fucking damn it. Like trying to talk this dude who's literally directed a movie on the ShamWow guy how to fucking use this studio we're using. And we couldn't figure it out. So like Jake and me just start the show and we're like, we don't have a show planned. The entire show. And everyone in the audience is like, oh, this was clickbait bullshit. It's some joke. And we're like, no, I'm serious. The ShamWow guy's fighting with tech in the background as we speak. Everyone thought we were full of shit. I got shit for it all weekend. And then Monday, we had the ShamWow guy on. He called in. He figured it out. We were not lying. I'll bet you I could get the ShamWow guy on my show. He messaged me a couple times after the show. Was like, hey, you want a free hoodie? I'll send you a hoodie. Give me your address. I chose to not give the ShamWow guy my home address. I feel like that's the type of thing you do, and then all of a sudden, you're asleep at 3 a.m. one day and you hear fumbling at the door and he's drunk like, can I crash in your couch for a couple days? And you're like, I don't know if I want the ShamWow guy crashing at my house. I don't know. You know, a post office box would be good for the ShamWow guy. I'm not so
This is
sure.
your hacker speaking.
Yeah.
Hello. I
Yeah.
hacked your X
Yeah.
account.
There he goes. Yeah.
How can I take your order today? I took over your X account and I need $5 million.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No.
$5 million and I give you your X account back.
Yeah. Well, no thanks. No thanks.
I do it again. I told you.
No thanks. Now, I assure you the actions of avarice there are not indicative of me trying to scam you all. It is not my intent. So I'm looking. He did not read the message, the 8 p.m. message. He did read the last one at 6 p.m. though, 5:45. What a mess. Avarice is the captain now. Lord help us. Lord help us if Avarice is the captain. I do like the mech he had in the background there. What was this? Look at that thing. What game's that from? That's Armored Core? Any idea?
That might have been. I was trying to do a mask change here, but.
I caught you. Is that what game that's from? Armored Core?
Yeah, it's an Armored Core thing. Yeah.
I used to play the shit out of those games in like PS2. I haven't played one for a long time though.
Well, I was prepared. I didn't even get any robnoerr gear on. I was prepared to sit in the back and just hit buttons today. So now I'm sitting here.
I was ready to talk to my Nigerian hacker, give him the spotlight. He could have called me a dumb fuck and laughed at me for hacking me, and I would have taken it. I would have took my medicine. But so all right, the show will go on then. I got things.
It must go on.
I got things to talk about. Things. So we'll take a poll here as we get later in the show for what my punishment should be for misleading, inadvertently, but still misleading my audience, that this hacker was going to come on. Unless he does call in which case then. But I feel like I owe people something. I don't know, man. Like, when he first agreed a couple days ago, I was like, no chance. And then when he's messaging me on, like, Orthodox Easter, how you been? I'm like, maybe this dude is going to call. And my wife was like, this dude's going to try to be your buddy. He's going to be, like, hitting you up. Like, 2 weeks from now, he's going to be like, hey, man, I'm having, could you send me, like, $30? I'm having a tough time. And my wife's like, don't you fucking dare try to become friends with this Nigerian hacker. Yeah, I think I have complete access to my X account now. Yeah, I do. And so that, I honestly thought that I would have the opposite problem. The guy'd be trying to call in all the time. He'd be trying to call me all the time. That's what I thought was likely to occur. I did. I changed the email. I set up the two-factor authentication. So I think that all that's good. All right, here's what we'll do. I will try one time to dial this international number. Now, I don't know if it'll work because it was through WhatsApp, but I will try. Okay, I have bad news. We're going to have to try to call through the phone and put it on speaker because it is 13 digits, the phone number that I have, and Google Voice won't even allow me to dial 13 digits. So, okay. We'll give it one try. Now, by the way, before I do this, I will never call any of you via phone or something like that without your knowledge and have you be able to be heard while I'm streaming. However, in this one case, seeing as how this guy did literally hack my X account, I will at least see if you guys can hear his voice if he answers his phone. I'm skeptical that he'll answer his phone since he knows that I'm trying to contact him for this live stream. Man, out of nowhere, I thought we were supposed to have a nice day. It's storming like crazy outside here. All right, here we go. It beeped once and it just says unavailable. It looks like he read my message, though. Now my power's flickering. This is great. The Nigerian hacked the damn weather. He has access to ionosphere technology? Well, that's what I wondered. What do you think the chances are that, like, because I'm intentionally streaming to my X account right now. What do you think the chances are that he's watching it? Should have given the Andrew's P.O. Box to the ShamWow guy. Just give him his address. Go crash on Andrew's couch. I don't give a shit. Oh, that is true. My Pirates hat's downstairs. I did get hacked. My X account got hacked. I was supposed to interview the hacker today. Yeah, MTG Space Lasers. Damn, they got me. All right, well, fuck it. Here's the deal, right? We're going to go on. We're going to do a serious show then. Like a normal show. I know we're early. Listen, maybe you think I'm full of shit. There are times where I'm clearly fucking around, right? Where I'm doing stretching the limits with Rob Shapiro. Or, there's a caller calling it. Like yesterday, the whole, like, I was like, did you see that JD Vance failed the negotiations with Iran? Did you see this? True story. Remember Vance went to Pakistan, was negotiating with Iran. Now, you guys have heard, allegedly the new Iranian leader is gay. Have you guys heard that? That's the word on the street. That the guy is gay. So, I think thinking that the Trump administration, they decide JD Vance isn't the man for the job. That's totally true. By the way, I'm not joking about that. Audience, you'll confirm. Those are the rumors. That the guy they're saying now's the head in Iran, he was basically his father was ousting him from positions of leadership because they think he's gay. So, Vance did a poor job of negotiating, and so it looks bleak, but I am happy to announce they have sent a new negotiator that they think's the right man for the tools to negotiate with Iran's new gay leader. They think this gentleman has a grip on the situation that he'll be a stiff negotiator. He'd go all the way to the base of the issues. You know. He'll be able to swallow his pride and really get in there and do what's necessary. And he'll negotiate long and hard. That's right. So. Some stiff negotiation. Anyone? Is the audience go? Yeah. My ex account is bad. He's gobbling up the details. Yes. Yeah. You think that we're gonna shaft him? I don't know. Now, I think you can tell though when I'm joking around. I am not joking about this hack thing. I actually got hacked. I actually did talk to the hacker. He did say he was going to call in for an interview. He, as of 2:30 today, he agreed he would do it, and then he's totally ghosted me. So we're going to really head off the regime. Yeah. This is it. This is the show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to read phallus references from the audience. I hope you guys got 2 hours worth of this. Ready? You know? Yes, the negotiations are hard, but he has them in hand. Yes. Very good. White Blitz doesn't believe me, to be honest. That's fine. Brian hasn't messaged me for quite some time. No, he hasn't. You may not see my penis. Thanks for asking. Brian, yeah, give Brian time. He'll reach out. He's juggling a lot of balls right now. That's true. It does take balls to do that job. This is it. This is it, folks. Coming out to support his country. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I agree. React to the Jordan Lee Peterson, Brian Shapiro debate. Is that my punishment for fucking... All right. Maybe we could do that. I'm disappointed. I'm really pissed off about this whole thing, to be honest. The guy could have just said, no, I don't want to do an interview. This fucking pisses me off. I'm pissed. Pissed off. It sucks. All right. First off, we'll react to the Jordan Peterson, or I'm sorry, Jesse Lee Peterson, Brian Shapiro debate, which I have not seen. However, if we're going to do a Brian Shapiro segment, and that's my punishment, so be it. Let's see if we get some super chats in and what have. That's fine. Yeah, I did get my X account back. But I'm going to start with something different with Brian Shapiro. This is going to seem unrelated, but it is related to Brian. Why not? Let's have some fun with it, I guess. So, I don't know many of the characters involved in this story. There's this TPUSA lady, Savannah Hernandez. She apparently shows up to some anti-ICE protest. And she's arguing with the people, and she gets attacked. All right, so let's watch some of the clip. Warning, it's a little language and violence, but here we go.
Stop touching me! You fucking touched me! Jesus Christ! I had a 200-pound man that shoulder checked me. This woman is like right up on me. She like keeps touching me, and yeah, I'm here by myself. Stop! Okay. Stop! Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. So anyways, you were being extremely aggressive here, and all I'm doing is standing here. All I've been doing is filming this. You don't know what the fuck. You don't know what. No. You don't know what the fuck. No, I'm telling you right now. You don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's going on here. This woman came up to me and she's screaming in my face. It's on you, fuck.
No, it's time to leave.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Okay, now, classic fucking... Now, this always works this way. If it's one lefty that shows up to a right-wing rally and starts shit and gets in a fight, it's a tragedy. It's the right's violent. If it's a right-winger that shows up and there's left-wingers protesting, well, the police could do nothing and you could beat the shit out of the right-wingers. No problem. You could assault them. No issues. Always the way how it goes, right? That's how it goes. Now, I saw this last night and was like, classic bullshit. I assume no charges will be pressed, whatever. Now, it turns out the father and the wife there, I think, or at least maybe the father and the daughter have been given misdemeanors. However, I don't believe the wife has been charged. Now, why am I talking to this story in context of Brian Shapiro, who I'm still getting over the fact he asked to see my penis, the Penisgate tragedy ongoing. We'll have more to come with that in the coming days. I'm trying to work through it. But the reason is syndicated radio host Brian Shapiro, when he's not asking to see people's penises, actually does have a syndicated radio show where at least 50,000 people a day are watching. And wouldn't you know it, his guests today on his show were aforementioned husband and wife involved in this assault. Now let's see what Brian and this husband and wife had to say.
Yeah. So you and your wife and your daughter, can you say it's categorically false if anybody says that you guys are violent people?
We are absolutely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it. In fact, Jolly Ginger, who's a known protester out there, he was on the front lines with me, and he made fun of me the last time he was up here because he said, Chris, until you're up there in front yelling at the cops with the intent to possibly get arrested, you're not really a protester. So he was joking with me because he knows I'm always the guy in the back. I tend to stay away from anything. In fact, that day, you'll see, I was not even up in the front at all during this whole event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise. But that's, of course, I was in the back.
Now, watch how our boy Brian here, right? This is something I see happen all the time. When someone's floundering or they're not making a good case, I see this a lot in debates where they're like, I've seen, for example, when I would do debates with left-wing hosts. Or the best example of this, remember the last time I was talking to Pisco and then Wick called in and was being a tough guy? Because I was commenting to Pisco about how Wick was telling people to intentionally break the law to obstruct ICE. And you remember what Pisco would do? Like, Wick would sound like an asshole, and Pisco would be like, well, Wick, I think what you're trying to say is, you know what I mean? Try to help him dig himself out of that hole, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to see Brian here do. So watch. Brian's going to, he's just listening to their story. He's not putting their thumb on the scale, right? Here we go.
I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter. That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that a fair characterization of your story of what took place?
I believe that's a fair characterization. I mean, you said it. I that's what I believe. And I just wanted her to leave. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her to leave so that this whole thing would stop.
So Brian's just like, what your lawyer is telling you to say, the story your lawyer said is this, right? And he's like, I believe that's it. You believe that? You shoved a woman in the back to protect your daughter? I was just a family man protecting my daughter. And Brian jumps right in there to toe the line, right? Now let's look at some more footage, shall we? New footage proves Savannah Hernandez's assault was a planned attack. This video captures the dad telling his daughter, blow the whistle right in her fucking ear. Another woman is heard warning him, "Your daughter's about to throw hands," to which he replies, "Yeah, I told her to blow the whistle in her ear." Now, this is one woman that's surrounded by all these protesters. Now, remember, this guy's version, not his version, the version that apparently his lawyer told Brian Shapiro that Brian Shapiro dutifully repeated was, this man was just standing in the back. He's no interest. In fact, he was troubled by the whistles. It was hard to concentrate by the whistles blowing. Remember when he said that? Here, let's listen again to what his claim was.
So you and your wife and your daughter.
Fair characterization. I mean, you said it. I that's what I believe, and I just wanted her to leave. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her to leave so that this whole thing would stop.
Oh, wait, where's the whistle thing? Didn't he say that?
Of your story of what took place.
Definitely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it. In fact, Jolly Ginger, who's a known protester out there.
Brian. Oh, yep.
He was on the front lines with me, and he made fun of me the last time he was up here because he said, "Chris, until you're up there in front yelling at the cops with the intent to possibly get arrested, you're not really a protester." So he was joking with me because he knows I'm always the guy in the back. I tend to stay away from anything. In fact, that day, you'll see, I was not even up in the front at all during this whole event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise. But
oh, really? You don't say. The whistle's like the one you told your daughter to go get in the car and blow it right in this lady's fucking ear? Those things? It was making it tough for you to hear when you told your daughter to go assault this woman with that whistle? Robert Whaley, I saw what you put. Yeah, we've talked about this in the past. How damaging these shrill whistles blown right in your ear are. And they're designed to be painful to elicit a response. It's intentional. That's what's going on. It's a form of assault. So this guy was like, oh, it was hard to concentrate. I was just in the back, and these whistles, it was just so loud. That seems to be a different characterization than what we actually see. He's holding his wife back, some other guy, because she's trying to get into a violent confrontation. Now remember, his whole argument was, this is all justified because I just want her to leave. Okay. So just to be clear, if it's a Trump rally or if it's any place where conservatives are gathered and left-wingers show up, okay to assault them. And our excuse could be, we just want them to leave. That's all. We just want them to leave. Of course not. They'd say free speech. You can't do that. That's assault. Let's keep going.
That's right. That's what my daughter said.
This is gonna be the most boring fucking video to watch ever, bro.
Yeah, she's doing Your daughter's about to throw hands. Well, because the girl's trying to do shit to her.
Your daughter's about to throw hands. Now, does this sound like a father that had to shove a woman in the back to protect his daughter because he wants to keep his daughter out of harm's way? He literally told his daughter to go get a whistle and confront this lady and assault her by blowing it in her ear. Now he's being told, your daughter's trying to throw hands. I know. Where's the protective father protecting his daughter here?
I told my daughter to go blow it.
Now there you can see the beginning. Now see right here? Watch closely. We're going to slow it down. You can see the daughter pushing her. Watch. See, she's got her hands up. This is the woman right here walking away. They get the bullhorn right in her face there, or whatever that is. And see the daughter leaning up against her with her face right there, shoving her. Dad's proud. Dad's right there, proud. Now watch. Of course, hitting her with the dildo. She puts her hands up to keep that out of her face. Finally, she pushes the girl out of her way. She's trying to get out. Girl shoves her back. Now, here comes the daughter. Confronts again. Shoves again. There was the dad. Conflict over. Bam! Dad slams her. Now, apparently, she suffered a concussion from that blow. So you could believe the video, or you could push your credulity to the limits.
Yeah. So you and your wife and your daughter, can you say it's categorically false if anybody says that you guys are violent people?
We are absolutely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it. In fact, Jolly Ginger, who's a known protester out there, he was on the front lines with me, and he made fun of me the last time he was up here because he said, Chris, until you're up there in front yelling at the cops with the intent to possibly get arrested, you're not really a protester. So he was joking with me because he knows I'm always the guy in the back. I tend to stay away from anything. In fact, that day, you'll see, I was not even up in the front at all during this whole event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise. But that's, of course, I was in the back.
I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter. That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that?
So now, if you saw the clip, which I just showed, they had successfully chased Savannah away. And yet, he feared that somehow this single woman was going to plow through a crowd of 30 and 40 people to get to his wife and daughter. So he had to shove her in the back onto the ground. And this guy's not even articulate enough to make the argument. Brian Shapiro has to do it for him. And I'm sure that's because a lawyer crafted this statement to try to defend this. That's right. Then he contradicts it and says, I just wanted her to leave. Now, no assault charges, 2 misdemeanors, I believe, against the daughter and the husband. Here's what's been said. Charges have not been filed against all the suspected individuals assaulting Savannah Hernandez. Paige Etrushka, Chris Ortrushka, and Paige's boyfriend have been charged with just misdemeanors. Hernandez is suffering from a concussion, 2 sprains, and multiple bruises as a result. Hernandez was assaulted by at least 6 people during the protest. Diana Ortrushka has not been charged, even though the video appears to show her making physical contact with Hernandez and refusing to leave her alone. Additional, the 2 women seen assaulting Hernandez with sex toys have not been charged. Hennepin County Sheriff's Office tells me this is still an active investigation. Spokesperson said, our investigators are among the best in the state and are committed to a comprehensive victim-centered approach. They work closely with the victim, review all available evidence, including videos, and interview witnesses to ensure every detail is examined. Hernandez told me outside the initial report taken by the officer who ended up having to escort her to safety, no investigators from the sheriff's department reached out to her, and she had to follow up with them herself. She adds that no one has asked about her medical records or injuries. And then I believe I have an update from her. Savannah says, just to clarify, Paige, the daughter and the most violent of the 3, and her father, Chris, are facing misdemeanor assault charges. But somehow Diana, the mother, is not being recommended for charges, despite being on camera attacking me alongside her daughter. Luckily, the FBI and DHS have opened federal investigations into this, since it seems that the state isn't looking to actually hold these people accountable. And that's what it'll take. The truth is, places like Minneapolis, Minnesota, etc., these left-wing places, they have instructed, both literally and sort of without saying it literally, these left-wing people feel they are morally justified to use violence. And their jury of their peers will say that that's okay. Every step of our justice system is a failure. The police will always, in these areas, take the side of the people that are being violent against conservatives. The attorneys, the prosecutors will always take their side. The judges will take their side. The juries will take their side. And so the only chance of getting justice is to ring these people through the fucking ringer with the FBI and throw as many federal charges as you can at them. And they may get sympathetic juries that lead them off, but leave the process destroy their lives as best as possible. It is the only possibility that we have through a legitimate legal means at this point to end this shit. They could literally attack with impunity in these left-wing areas. That's the truth. The police are on the Gestapo's side. The brown shirt side. That's the truth. Remember the video I showed there months ago? I don't know if I'll be able to find it. But there was this woman who was attacked. She follows the woman that attacked her. She gets a cop's attention. The cop just lets her go. Excuse me, I believe that was in Portland. Let's see if I can find. I think I might be able to find this. Maybe not. I'm looking for it. I think it's important to get the idea. I don't know. If someone has the clip, they could DM me. It may have been Katie Davis Court that was attacked. Nonetheless, if you remember the clip, and I wish I could find it, I really do. But the clip was that this woman's attacked. She follows the chick with the camera. They find their way to a police officer. And the police officer goes to detain her, and they're screaming, "She's underage! Don't you touch her! Don't you!" And the cop just lets him walk away. Yeah, GG. Look at this on top of it. If it loads. Here we go. So it's an oldie but a goodie. Here's the picture of Katie, by the way, in the aftermath. Katie Davis Court assaulted by Antifa militant in Portland amid an ICE riot. And then here is the footage.
Don't hit. Oh, fuck! She just hit me in the face. Oh my god! She just hit me in the face.
I will make you. Fuck you. Put it the fuck down. Put it down, you piece of shit.
Now, again, this is the aftermath. There's the woman with the cowl nose ring that hit her, and there is her face. We'll go back here. Now, what happens is she follows her. You can see that's the one right there on the left that assaulted her.
Do not touch me! Yes! Jansport backpack! Do not touch me. That one.
There's the cop. Watch.
Do not touch me! Yes! Jansport backpack! That one.
Do not touch
Which one? Her.
Do not touch me. No, I'm not. I am not. I just said that you are. I'm underage. No, do not touch her. Do not touch her. Do not touch me. I am underage.
Spoiler alert! They don't get her. They just let her walk away. There you go. That's the way it goes in these areas. It's what happened to, was it Nick Sorter? Got the shit beat out of him in Portland. Police arrested him. Of course, the case was later dropped. Now he's suing the police department. People that beat him get away with impunity. That's the way it works everywhere. And make no mistake about it, they won in Minneapolis. They won in Minnesota. They chased ICE out of there. They got to use violence indiscriminately. Almost no one was charged. They literally were going to people with out-of-state plates and demanding to see their papers. They blocked city streets. They ran the show, just like they do in Seattle, just like they do in Portland. They're in charge. Local police, happy to stand by and let it occur. Remember the footage of the guy who was at the hotel? Need to bookmark these clips. But the footage was they're at a hotel. And they're breaking in, and there's like one officer that's bleeding. He's holding back this mob of these lefties that are attacking. And he says, "Where are the police? Where are the local police?" And then you can see a cop car coming, and it turns around. We get a rattlesnake raid. Hello, snakers. How you doing this fine evening? I hope you had a great show. So when you see these anti-ICE protests and stuff, and journalists are there trying to cover it, and the journalists get the shit beat out of them, make no mistake, they are doing so with the tacit approval of the local police. So when we see people like Savannah Hernandez from Turning Point get slammed to the ground by an adult, and the local police, maybe a misdemeanor, maybe nothing, the left will lose their mind if Kash Patel and the Fed say, we're going to press charges. Oh, this is abusive. How dare they? But there literally is no hope for justice with the local police. None. The constituents of the police are the violent lefties. It's that simple. They don't represent you. They don't care about you. Their constituents hate you. And so it's not that they hate you. I don't think. The cops probably find it a bit ridiculous, to be honest. They probably don't like these lefties. They know these lefties hate the police too. But that's the life. Well, they're in charge. We just sit back and collect our paycheck. Your options are get the shit beat out of you by these lefties, and if you fight back, they'll arrest you. That's it. That's your options. Of course, it's not just the police. The police stood down while hotels the ICE officers were supposedly in were attacked, but it's the police, it's the prosecutors, it's the district attorneys, it's the judges, it's the juries. It's every level. Oh, okay, Em. Got you. So, believe it to Brian Shapiro. You know, the guy that he can't. How could you ethically support someone January 6th? How could you ethically support someone January 6th? How could you do it? How could you do it? Here's his buddies that he's whitewashing for.
Stop touching me! You fucking touched me!
Can you say it's categorically false if anybody says that you guys are violent people?
We are absolutely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it. In fact, Jolly Ginger, who's a known protester out there, he was on the front lines with me, and he made fun of me the last time he was up here because he said, Chris, until you're up there in front yelling at the cops with the intent to possibly get arrested, you're not really a protester. So he was joking with me because he knows I'm always the guy in the back. I tend to stay away from anything. In fact, that day, you'll see, I was not even up in the front at all during this whole event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise. But that's,
of course,
I was in the back.
I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So,
and again, I've never seen something this blatant. Right, supposed nonpartisan host, nonpartisan. He's literally, because the buffoon that assaulted a woman, who instructed his daughter to go insult a woman that's on his show here, is incapable of making a compelling case. Why would this Chris guy make a compelling case? Here's his real argument. I'm a lefty. I'm good. This woman's a right-winger. She's evil. Get the fuck out of our space. That's his real argument. That might not fly for a phony baloney legal defense, though. So they have to have a veneer of, oh, no, there was a legal reason for it. But this douchebag's too fucking stupid to make the argument for himself that his attorney told him to make. In rushes white knight Brian Shapiro. And one of the most blatant examples ever I've seen of a host just literally fucking making the case for his dumb fuck guest, because his guest is too fucking stupid to make the case himself. So watch this. Nonpartisan. This is a nonpartisan. Don't call him a liberal. He hates political violence. He said it many times. Let's hear what he says here.
Everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter. That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that a fair characterization of your story of what took place?
I believe that's a fair characterization. I mean, you said it. I that's what I believe. And
that's what I believe. Here. Now, I know it's a little difficult. Maybe you didn't get the full picture here. Let me help you out. You ready?
Event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and
now
all the
see
noise.
If this helps you. You ready?
I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter. That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that a fair characterization of your story of what took place?
There. Does that help? Maybe that helped a little. To get an idea of where Brian's coming from here. Maybe that helped a little. I don't know. I know. Now, look, it becomes difficult. Didn't Jake just cover the fucking Jesse Lee Peterson, Brian Shapiro thing? It might be a bit much for me to cover it in the same day. So maybe we'll cover it some other day. But I think it's worth pointing out what a fucking hypocritic piece of shit this Brian Shapiro is, right? This is a guy, every time I've talked to him, he clutches his pearls about January 6th. Violent people on January 6th. And trust me, if I saw people engaging in violence against ICE, I'd speak out. I don't support that. Now, I'm going to read some super chats real quick, and then, trust me, we'll get more into this. Your job's to get those super chats up to $357, Captain Planet. $10 says, didn't want him to get any more money anyhow. Yeah, my hacker. I was supposed to interview my hacker today, and he flaked on me. He fucking flaked on me. Bastard. Kayla Connors, $5 says, what's the point? Activist judge will give them an award. Yeah, I know. John Smith, $5 says, bro, I've just started your stream, so I'm 40 minutes behind. Have you ever watched Scammer Payback or Pierogi? I've eaten some pierogies. So satisfying, the scammers being scammed. I've seen shows of scammers being scammed, but in fairness, I don't know the names of them. So maybe I watch those. But yeah, it is very satisfying. Blaine App or Blaine P. Rob, thank you for the $20. Robert Whaley, $5. As if anyone's interested in the psychophysiology of the acoustic startle response, I posted a video by Legally Armed America in Rob's general Discord. Yeah, it's crazy. Wow, GG's really... Oh, that's because I'm looking at the wrong thing. Thank you, Robert. But I say fuck it. If we can't deal with a slimy fucking Nigerian hacker that stole my account, then we'll deal with the slimy fucking Brian Shapiro today. Since I'm at a loss for what I was supposed to cover. So here's what we're going to do. First, let's make it the Brian Shapiro Spectacular. Everybody, yay! Brian Shapiro Spectacular. It's going to be stuff most of you have seen before. I don't care. Let's make fun of Brian Shapiro. Yay! Yay! First up, the legendary Brian Shapiro calls into my show, and he has a lot to say. We were pointing out this hypocrisy, which he's wont to do quite frequently. Now, to set up this clip, what's going on is he calls into my show all the time because he got butthurt because I crushed him in a debate. So then he calls back in to debate again, and which time he gets crushed. He gets crushed in debates with Jay Dyer. He gets crushed in debates with Andrew. He gets crushed in debates with Myron Gaines. And so what he does is he sends angry text messages to people like Andrew's wife, and he fucking sends Andrew angry text messages to me and all this shit. It's fucking pathetic. Then he'd be calling into my show all the time. Okay. So it'd always be the same thing. It starts off pretty affable, and then as it progresses, it's just him filibustering. And the characteristic of watching him debate is this. He'll make a claim that's very surface level. Trump told people to drink bleach. And you'll be like, yeah, he didn't say that. Let's look into this, right? No, what your claim was he said to drink bleach. And he'll be like, yeah, he said something like that, and we can't forget how he targeted these Venezuelan boats. Now, most attorneys said that was something that was illegal, and you can't do that. That's a war crime. And you'll be like, no, wait a minute. No, that's not a war crime, because although combat or whatever that it's considered, you're not allowed to attack people, there are certain circumstances. You're still allowed to go after the target, and if the target was the boat, yes, but let's not forget, he told people to go be violent on January 6th. No, that's not what he said. Like, if you look, in fact, he said to be peaceful. But don't forget, he said Nazis were good people. That's it. That's Brian Shapiro. He's a 37-time felon. Cool, let's look into that. Oh, and moves on to the next thing. Which is why I told him, I said, listen, you're the first insult I ever said to him, I said, you're not very good at going in deep in any specific thing. We reviewed his debate with Jay Dyer. It was the same frustration Jay was having, right? He would say something. He'd be like, Alex Jones, Sandy Hook. And, Jay's like, sure, okay. What else do you not like that Alex Jones or people on InfoWars have said? I host InfoWars. And he would say, like, your stuff about 9/11. Great, let's get into it, Jay says. But no, Brian doesn't want to get into something specific because he knows he just knows the surface talking point. So he just moves on. That's what he did the whole debate. So this particular discussion I'm having with Brian, it's like the fifth or sixth one. What we're talking about is the idea of the ICE shooting of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And he is trying to be like this. I just want an independent investigation. I'm not satisfied with anybody in the Trump administration saying that these shoots were okay. It has to be independent. When there's a shooting like this, that's what we need. So I made the point, okay, is that how you felt about the shooting of Ashley Babbitt? There was no independent investigation. It was the Capital City Police and the Biden administration basically that investigated that. Are you saying you're unsatisfied with that shooting as well? that this was murder until you see an independent investigation? That's what leads to the following exchange. I'm trying to give an
Please
answer to his
cut
point.
this up
He
and try
won't
to
let
make
me,
as much
so
money as
that's
you
wasting
can
time. So
with your
the guy- here we
22,000
go.
YouTube
Here we go.
subscribers.
So here's what happens, right?
Please make your point,
One,
Rob. Rob, make
you
your
keep
point.
interrupting. Stop making the point, and I will.
Please make your point, Rob. Make your
You gonna
point.
be quiet?
Please donate to Rob. Make your point, Rob. Make your point.
You gonna be quiet?
Please make your point, Rob. Make your point. Maybe you'll get 300 listeners today. Make your point, Rob. In the attic of your second floor of your home. Make your point. Please donate to Rob Noerr. Please donate. Rob, I care about you, buddy. I want you to make it in this world. Eventually, people will invite you on their shows. Rob, please. I want you, seriously, I care about you, Rob. I want you to take care of yourself. And I'm hoping that you continue to succeed in begging people for money on YouTube. You'll make it, Rob. Don't worry. You will. Eventually, you'll make it. And you'll get to maybe 300 or 400 live viewers. And maybe someday you'll be invited to national TV shows like me, and you won't have to beg people for money every day. Rob, I think eventually you'll get there, pal. I do. Because I think you're an amazing talent. I've never heard a guy on your show sounding like you're taking shit. I've never heard a guy who live streams, 24-hour live stream, or live stream, you have no guests on your show. You have no talent on your show. And to be frank, my friend, I think you're a talented comedian. You really are. And that's the reason why nobody invites you on any big shows or anything. That's why you have like 300 live listeners, because you have no talent. You're boring to listen to. You don't know how to do a show. You sound like Mark Albert. You sound like you're taking shit when you talk. And you don't even know how to have a real conversation. And that's it. That's all about how we all know you're Andrew Wilson's lab dog. We know that. Okay? You're Andrew Wilson's lab dog, another utter piece of shit, by the way. So listen, YouTube up on a great day, Rob. Okay, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get more money. You get your goal of getting on YouTube. The reason why you get 22,000 subs. There's a reason why I don't have like 300 listeners. You go up to the second floor of your attic, and you do the same thing day in day out. And the reason why nobody takes you seriously and nobody knows who the fuck you are is because you're countless fucking more. That's why, Rob. So now continue to talk about me on the show. Continue to put up this and 3 or 4 or 5 YouTube videos that they got me, so you can make a couple $100. I wish you the best, Rob. I actually, I'm serious for a moment. I don't wish you any ill will. I really don't. Maybe I'll see you at Word War because I'm sure you're on their list as well, and I'm sure they'll be paying you boatloads of money. But I wish you the best, Rob. You can continue to talk about me on the show because you have material. Let me know next time you have a real guest on your show. Not that fucking moron Andrew Wilson, okay? And stupid wife. Let me know when you actually have a real guest on your show. That you can actually have a real debate. Because this week alone, Bob, this week alone, I have more guests in 1 week, actual big name guests on the right and the left, than you will have in your entire lifetime. So continue to talk about Rob. Continue to talk about me. After I go, I'm helping you out because I know there's videos on your YouTube page that do that. Are there videos of me calling you? Look at the chat. Look at all the people that are enjoying this. So unfortunately, Rob, I would have been glad to call in your show once a month, once every couple weeks, but I just don't think you appreciate it. You should give me a cut of all your YouTube super chats that you get, Rob. Because I am helping you out. If you had any brains, if you were intelligent, you would understand that. But you clearly don't. So I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing, Rob, which is begging people for money and second floor of your attic. I'll let you continue doing what you're doing. Because you're obviously very successful at it. Well, you have 22,000 subscribers. You're growing a lot, Rob. That on YouTube page. Like you're posting on there for like an hour. I have 3 or 4 now. 6, 7, that's not very good. 6 or 7 times, more subs, I don't know. But don't worry, you get there, pal. So just keep doing what you're doing in the second floor of your attic, my friend. And eventually you'll get there, man. Eventually you'll get there. I really think eventually. Maybe if you're 6 or 7 years old, that's when you get like those shows. But in reality, Rob, you're just not a very good debater. You're not very intelligent. And if you were, you would actually have a more successful career. But you live off of YouTube super chats. You literally live off of that. No company's paying you. You don't have any real substantial advertisers. But all you do is you go on the second floor of your home in your little man cave attic every single night, begging people for money on YouTube, Rob. That's what you do. So you can cut this up, you can put it on YouTube, which we know that people do, and you'll make material out of it. And I'm glad. I hope you make a lot of money, Rob. I really do. The fact of the matter is you don't have a real discussion debate. Because if you did, what you use what else? You do that every single time. And your resume, and how do I have your email? Because I sent it to the people on Fucking America. And you sent me an email with a resume. And your resume consisted of your resume consisted of Destiny stuff, good debater. I talked to Destiny. He said you're a fucking idiot, by the way. Destiny said you're a good debater. And you're claiming things. I was in some sort of debate tournament. That's your entire fucking resume. I sent it to them and they all fucking laughed at you. Number one, nobody knows who the fuck you are. That's why I debated Alex Stein and I didn't debate you because we all laughed at you. Your entire resume that you sent me, by the way, I asked you because I didn't know who the fuck you were either. I asked you, send me a resume. Your resume entirely consists of, well, Destiny stuff, good debater. And I was in some sort of debate tournament. That's your entire resume. So of course nobody invites you to shows. Of course nobody with any substantial guest on your program. Of course not. Because you don't have talent. You're not a good debater. You're like the D-minus version of Andrew Wilson, maybe minus the alcoholism, perhaps, and smoking addiction. But Rob, again, the fact of the matter is that actually we're going to have a reasonable conversation, which I don't think you're capable of having. The last time I did your show, you started with the personal insults. The time before that, you did personal insults. The reason why I called that because I actually, this is actually entertaining for me. I enjoy occasionally, I've called your show 3 or 4 times. Occasionally, I actually enjoy calling you because I think it's entertaining for me and it's fun to do. But tomorrow on the program, I have 2 people, one left, one right. Some pretty good names, to be quite honest with you. Tomorrow's schedule on the program, I have Don on, and that case. So these are 2 people that are pretty good names, and I appreciate the fact that they're willing to come on and have a conversation with me. I think it's a level of respect, Rob. So let me know. And then assembly person, because my Rob is doing your best show, Andrew Wilson, and assembly person. By the way, Andrew Wilson is a coward, and I know there are people that are listening to your show right now. Andrew was supposed to debate me 2 weeks ago on Venezuela. I have the DM. He said Friday should work. I have the DM. And then Andrew canceled the debate with me on Friday. Instead, he decided to debate you. You both are cocks and cowards. So Andrew refused to debate on Venezuela. Instead, debate you. And then I said, hey, why don't we debate the ICE situation? Why don't we debate you? And he doesn't want to debate that. And then a week later, he says, let's debate on why you think Trump is fascist, which is, by the way, debating so forth. So he's coward just like you. You guys are one trick pony. And I feel feel bad for you, Rob. That's why there are a few times I called you because I don't even think you would deny this. You've made more money, and the clips you put up have done better as a whole than any other clips you do. When I call on your show, when you have debates, some people actually find it funny, enjoy it, and that's why I called into the show. The first thing you did today was try to personally insult me and make unsubstantiated claims about me. Show, by the way. I don't mind if somebody calls me bald. I don't mind if somebody calls me a lip-tard. Everything I said about you, I think is very true. Right? I mean, when I say you salad or something like that, you're not breaking this situation. Right? I think you'd be the first person to agree with that. But I don't call you a child molester. I don't say, hey, somebody on the internet, somebody on the internet is fun. I would say, hey, somebody on the internet said you're a child molester. And you want to show it. Of course not, because I would assume that would be true. Just because some tool on social media said that. But that's what you take what people say on the internet, which are completely untrue, fabricated lies. All I say is the truth. You told me to take my hat off. You don't have the best hairline yourself. Listen, I have no problem with the fact that I shave my head and I'm bald. I'm perfectly comfortable with that. You should be comfortable with it too, Rob. You should be comfortable with it also. Okay? We'll never see higher lines getting older, and that happens as we go with age. Right? That happens right now. That happens. So hopefully I'll see you in Night City, because I've invited you to go to Night City for debate out there in a few months. Hopefully I'll see you out there, and you can keep talking about it. You can do what you're doing, Rob. That's totally fine. In fact, you can call into my show anytime, Rob. The invitation is open to anybody. I like anybody calling my show. Even morons like you. I like anybody calling my show because it makes for a show. I like to do debates, I like conversations. But I can guarantee you the debates I have tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be from pretty respectful conversations. Warren Smith is doing my show Thursday. Warren Smith has millions of followers. But you see, Warren respects me. I respect him. We have a debate conversation. My good friend David Pollack, who does a show on OAN, does a show a couple times. David's also doing my show tomorrow. So these people, Rob, that have a little respect for me, and come on my show, they don't ask me to take my hat off. I don't insult them. The reason why I insult you, Rob, is because I think you have very low self-esteem, Rob. I think you have very low self-esteem. I really do. See that nervous across the lab, like anybody who's a therapist, like Rob is the one that has very low self-esteem. You see, you can't think something. Rob has very low self-esteem, and I want Rob to get a better physical condition. And I want you to live. This won't be fun if Rob is here. I want something bad, Rob. So Rob, my advice to you is stop personally attacking people when they're unsubstantiated claims that are complete lies and fabrication. Call me bald. Call me a libtard, even though I'm not a liberal. Call me those things, because I think it's actually fun. People call me bald, they come to that. I laugh at that stuff. But I certainly would say, well, I see this shit on social media, claims that you're a child molester, Rob. I see this guy on social media that says, you're a worker. Because it's not true. If somebody says something on social media, doesn't mean that it's true. I'm used to that. Rob, I think your profile is larger, or if you get larger, it doesn't matter. But as your profile is larger, Rob, you'll have more and more people that will attack you and say things about you that are not true. You don't have that now, Rob, because you have a few hundred fans. You also said that the few fans that I have, Rob. I said that a few more than just a couple, Rob. I mean, I have a lot of people that listen to my show every day. You can find Facebook, YouTube, and I can provide those details for you if you like. It's about 500,000 views a day. I take about an hour calls a day from people all over the country. All over the country that call my show every day. So Rob, it's not about self-esteem. It's about being confident in who you are. I know when I wake up and I look at myself in the morning, I'm happy with what I see. Because I go here every day. I don't beg people for money. I go here and I speak my mind, but I always welcome the other side. There's a reason why nobody on the other side really talks on your show or debates you. It's that. I'm the opposite of that. I have more people that disagree with me on my show than people that agree with me. And there's a reason for that. People respect that. When was the last time you found a Democrat think you're going to debate? I don't think you've ever done it in your life, except for maybe once when you debate yesterday. That guy's not going to debate you again. Why would you waste time? There's a reason why big names on the other side don't come on your show. Or big names in general. Have you ever had anybody in the Trump administration, Rob? I've had in the last year Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Caroline Leavitt, just to name a few. Caroline Leavitt, no, that I'm Trump kid. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., no, that I'm Trump kid. Maybe you can ask yourself a question. Why do you do my show, Rob? Why is that? I just have a few fans. Why would these people do my show? Why would Matt Gaetz do my show? Why would Caroline Leavitt do my show, Rob? Why is that? Why would they do my show? I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with respect. It's got something to do with people. You can laugh if you like, but please give us the biggest name you've ever had on the show. In fact, last year, give me one prominent Democrat that we know that is going to come on your show regularly. Give me one big name that's on your show last year or so. You can't, Rob. You can't, unfortunately. And I really hope you clip this on YouTube, Rob. I really do. I think you're very wealthy, Rob. I want you to make money. But think about that. The only reason why you exist right now, certainly not because of all the views you have. You have 22,000 subs. I don't think you have any closer videos that have a large viewership. The only reason why you're making a living right now doing this is because of people that send you money. Okay, people send you money, YouTube, Super Chat. That's the only reason why, Rob. So just remember that, Rob. You're not a very good debater. Your voice sounds like you're taking shit, so you're going to have a good voice. And what topics do you ever really get into every day besides right-wing propaganda and defending Donald Trump left and right and making gross assumptions about cell phone video footage or videos of shooting? I mean, I can think about that, Rob. Think about that for a moment. So I want to help you, Rob. I'll try to give you advice if I can. You know, maybe along the way, maybe I'll send you an email. I want your YouTube page, Rob. You're at 22,000 now. How long have you been doing this for, maybe a few years, I don't know. Because I didn't know who you were 2 months ago, and quite frankly, nobody in my orbit knows who the hell you are. But I want your YouTube page, Rob. So maybe, I know I said earlier, maybe this would be the last time I call into your show. If you get 30,000 subscribers, maybe I'll call you. That might take a while, Rob. I don't know what happens first. 30,000 subscribers, or you losing 5 pounds. I don't know which one happens first. I would say 30,000 subscribers probably happens first before that. But I want you to get there, pal. I want you to get there. And I will say this in closing here. You know, there have been a few times we have said this. I hope Ryan does some say I have no personal ill will against you. I said that. And regardless of the insults that will exchange, I have no ill will for you. I don't know you personally. I don't know you personally. I don't. But there are a lot of people on the right that do know you personally. Jack is so. The reason why I got you at campus, I was like the only person on the left. It was special. I don't know if you have. You know that Andrew Wilson didn't want you there? You know, I've had private conversations with Michael Knowles. Why would Michael Knowles invite you to this party? Why would we talk to Why would we do that? Why would these people on the right invite these events? As you said, well, it's just easy pickings, right? It's easy pickings, right? Well, you probably could be that. Why would people have me on the show all the time? Why would these people on the right have private conversations with me on the phone? Why would they? I'll tell you. I'll give you another hint, Rob. Respect. Respect. The fact that, you know, maybe I add a little value to the conversation. Maybe the respect that I'm going to go to the line. There's not many people that think the left or anti-Trump that are willing to go on a show like that. They're willing to debate people like that. You know, they're willing to go debate Jack. So maybe they respect that. So you can make an entire segment of this. This is what I suggest you do. I would put it up on YouTube. I don't know if you have anybody that works with you. I don't think you can afford that. But if you do, Rob, that's okay. You're just getting only 22,000 subs. We'll get there. But I would have to get any local content stuff. So let's make some titles together. What do you think you should title? Let's work together on this. Let's try to help each other so you can get as many views as possible. Brian Shapiro gives us opinions on Rob Noerr. I don't think that might be catch. I would say Brian Shapiro appears in Rob Noerr. That would make you not look good. So it'll probably be Brian Shapiro spurgs out, because I know you guys like to use that word. You don't have fun here. This is very entertaining. At least for me anyway. But think of a title that you'd like to use for this. Let's see how much money you can make of this. Maybe you can give me a cut. You think you're going to give me a cut, Rob? Of this video? What do you think? Can you give me a cut?
No. Okay. So To the question you asked, the reason it was a false dichotomy is, on one hand, you're saying that you would only trust an independent investigation when it came to this shooting of Renee Good. On the other hand, even though there wasn't an independent investigation with Ashley Babbitt, you've made up your mind. And you say, yes, but I'm okay with an independent investigation occurring then or now. That's sort of a different question. There's phase one. There's Brian Shapiro's Spurg Out. He said it. Brian Shapiro's Spurg's Out. That's as good a title as any, right? And then, of course, inspired by this episode and the great Pushing the Limit show, I thought that I would debut a new persona. So we get to that next. Just can't get over how cool, smart, articulate, charismatic, and just damn right likable Brian Shapiro is. And for him to have graced my show with his presence so many times, I can't tell you how much of an influence it's starting to have on me. So I just want to take a minute, everyone. I want you to take a minute and look at that. That's what a real man is. That's what we should all aspire to. That's what a real political commentator looks like. And so I've been thinking, I've really been trying to get my life in order. And I was like, should I go to church more? Should I read more? Should I start working out? But then I realized what the key to success is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, inspired by a great friend of the show, Brian Shapiro, Rob. Now,
Rob.
I'm a syndicated radio host. I'm trying to be a syndicated radio host. And what I've decided is to move out of the second floor of my attic.
Your attic?
That's what I did. Rob.
Rob.
And I've realized people like me. You know what it's called? Respect.
Got something to do with respect.
That's what it's called. Respect. People respect me.
Respect.
I was on Tim Pool's show the other day. All the people are there talking to me. Want to know why? A little something called respect. Show me your penis.
Show me
your penis. Respect.
Respect.
A little something called respect. You understand? You people are all in your second floor of your attic and doing what?
Keep doing what you're doing on the second floor of your attic, my friend.
Your wives probably don't even have sex with you. Now, I get mine. Trust me. It's called respect.
Got something to do with respect.
I have a syndicated radio show. You're nobodies. You people are nobodies. You're nobodies. All you are, PDF supporters. That's it. Take your shirt off. Take your shirt. Let me see your penis.
Show your penis, Rob.
Yeah. You know what you're probably not good at? Eating a salad.
Why is that, Rob?
Rob.
Rob.
Not good.
Rob.
You're not good at that.
Come on, Rob.
People respect me. Michael Knowles knows who I am. Jack Posobiec knows who I am.
Michael Knowles.
And you're just fucking nobody wannabes with normal America. You're Norons. You're Crucible supporter. Nobodies. Not like me. I have a syndicated radio. 500,000 people a day watch me.
Now, another thing, Rob. I'm a radio host, okay?
500,000 people a day.
Second floor of your attic.
Rob.
Come on, Rob.
2 million people a day watch me on my radio show. It's syndicated. It's a syndicated radio show.
I'm a radio host.
You people are so fucking stupid. You're so stupid. You believe in some invisible sky daddy, but then you want to see actual proof of Trump committing crimes?
Rob.
While you're in your second floor attic?
Your attic.
Show me your penis.
Show your penis.
People respect me. I go to the grocery store with my girlfriend. Did I tell you I have a girlfriend? I have a girlfriend. What gets me the most is how you people talk about women. How you think it's cool, like Trump, how you talk about women. That's what gets me the most. And you fucking conservative bitches, you sluts, you women in the movement, you bitches and sluts. How much you have to drink to have sex with your husband? Show me your penis.
Show your penis, Rob.
Rob?
Yes, Rob.
I have a syndicated radio show. Literally 15 million people a day watch me.
I'm a radio host.
You're in your second floor attic?
The attic of your second floor.
It's called respect.
Respect.
That's what it's called. Why do you think these people like me? Respect. That's what it's called.
Got something to do with respect.
You understand? You have trouble eating a salad, huh? You know how many girlfriends I have? You know how many? Huh? And you always make it, all you do. I come on here, look, I'm just trying to be nice to all you. That's all. I'm just arguing fact. Why do you all make it personal? Why do you make it personal?
Why is that, Rob?
Fat fuck, you probably cock. Your wife doesn't even sleep with you? Eat a salad. Show me your penis.
Show your penis,
something?
Rob.
Take your shirt off.
Come on, Rob.
I have girlfriends though. I do. I have girlfriends. People respect me. I have a syndicated radio show. I don't know if you knew that. 50 million people a day watch me. 50 million. That's how many watch.
Yes, Rob.
50 million people a day.
I'm a radio host, okay?
So just know that. All of you, I ask all of you the same. How could any of you morally support Donald Trump? How could you?
Come on, Rob.
And then you come on, and instead of talk, all you want to do is talk about ethics? That's all you want to do, talk about ethics? That's not what we agreed to talk about.
Rob.
I don't mute people. I don't do that. Imaginarium, you're muted. Mute him. Fuck him. Show me your penis.
Show your penis.
I'm just on here trying to talk facts. I don't know why you people have to make it personal.
Rob.
I don't know why you have to make it personal. I'm not a Democrat, by the way. I'm a centrist. I voted for George Bush.
Jack Posobiec.
I voted for Abraham Lincoln.
Michael Knowles.
People respect me. I have a syndicated radio show.
Rob.
200 million people a day watch me. 200 million a day.
Why is that, Rob?
Watch me. And what are you doing? On here begging for money? You're begging for money? That's what you're doing? Begging for money like I was alleged to have begged that woman for money that I extorted her? That was all bullshit.
Rob, I'm a radio host.
How could you believe that without proof? Unlike Trump.
Rob.
Which you Christians are going to burn in hell for supporting.
You know, I've had private conversations with Michael Knowles.
All you're doing is begging for money. That's it. In your second floor attics.
In the second floor of your attic.
You're all just a bunch of small dick Trump supporters. Show me your penis.
Show your penis, Rob.
Show me it.
Come on, Rob.
Show me your penis. That's it. Hey, I'll keep calling back into the show here. I know you all love me.
Got something to do with respect.
I know you love me. It's called respect. It's a little thing. It's a little thing called respect.
People respect that, Rob.
You wouldn't know about that. You wouldn't know about respect. Michael Knowles respects me.
Michael Knowles.
Jack Posobiec. I interviewed RFK. Respect. Why do they call me if it's not about respect? Huh?
Got something to do with respect.
How many drinks you have to have sex with your husband? Huh? Show me your penis.
Show your penis, Rob.
Why do you treat women like that? Why do you make it personal?
Why is that, Rob?
I gotta go. I gotta get ready. I actually have a show I'm preparing tomorrow. I have a syndicated radio show.
Now, another thing, Rob. I'm a radio host. 500
million people a day watch me. 500 million. You're nobodies. Who are you? You're nobodies. This is the last you ever hear from me. The last you ever hear from me. Right? You're nobodies.
Yes, Rob.
You always make it personally. My friend Don Lemon's going to be calling in tomorrow. My good friend Don Lemon. Yeah.
Now, another thing.
It's called respect. Okay? You wouldn't know that in your second floor attic. You wouldn't know. Take your shirt off.
Rob.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know about it.
Yes, Rob.
Right? You wouldn't know.
Rob.
So I got to go. I got to get ready.
Rob.
You're a syndicated radio show. 1 billion people a day. What? 1 billion. 1 billion a day. Who are you? You're a fucking nobody. You're nobody. Your wife probably doesn't have sex with you. You're nobody. Man, I gotta say, I feel amazing, you know, just putting on that hat and glasses, the power, man, that Brian Shapiro guy, man, he's amazing. That guy's amazing. He's right. I need to get out of this second floor attic. Man, the respect, people have this respect for him. And you know, what gets me is how he just wants what's best for all of us. You know, he doesn't make it personal. He don't do that. And he's so well respected. I don't know if you got that. He is so well respected.
Show your penis, Rob.
Of course, we're having fun. We're joking. I appreciate it all. But all of it comes from a place of pain. I've tried to keep up a strong image, but the truth is, after Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis, it's been devastating. Not only did he demand to see my penis, but then he threatened to box me in an effort to get closer to my penis. And I have to be honest, I just don't know. I go to these events. I'm going to debate events, debate con and stuff. You never know when a powerful syndicated radio host is going to show up and try to demand to see my penis once more. So, of course, I talked to my therapist, and she told me that I should put my thoughts down about how devastated I am and the PTSD I'm suffering. And I put it to a little tune for you all to enjoy. She also says the only thing that'll help are super chats over $100. So, finish off where we're at right now with Penisgate, the terrible penis scandal that I'm involved in, with Brian Shapiro demanding to see my penis. I'll play a little ditty that I wrote.
Humbly debating folks online, talking politics and chatting about life. When I got noticed by the coolest of chats, a radio host with an image that was rad. But then things turned and I got burned. He got angry when he got spurned. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate. I cried to myself in my second floor attic. My entire life just now feels like it's static. He says it's about a thing called respect, but it treats me as if I'm just an object. He said he wants to help me, but he just wants to see my weenie. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate.
It's tough. I'm trying to keep a stiff upper lip and just plow forward. I'm really trying. I have to get out ahead of this. I'm just trying to call balls and strikes on the whole thing. I just feel like it's always the little guy like me that gets the shaft when you have a major syndicated radio host like Brian Shapiro. So I'll keep limping along with the show. I'll try my best. I just don't know. But maybe your super chats will help. We'll read some of them. Kayla Connors, $10, says in the JLP video, Brian tells him that he's going to be a bloodbath at the ballot box come midterms. He cried saying Trump was inciting violence when he said the same thing. John Smith, $5, says time for Brian Shapiro. Exposure therapy. Oh, exposure therapy. Reveal your penis. I would never ask. In bed, not in bread, $10 says, please make this a soundbite and a short. Who knows what my editor and my therapist will come up with. James, $10. Thank you so much. Says, you edited the footage, Rob. You didn't show the part where Sav turned into Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China. It's without rule of law conditions for conservatives in blue areas. Of course. Look at this. Legend. Absolute legend. George Rakov, $100, says, for all your hard work. You know, it's crazy. The therapist told me $100 donations would help, and I do feel a little better. Thank you so much, George. What a legend. Thank you. John Smith, thank you so much. $2 says, wish my wife pined for me like Brian Shapiro pines for you. It sounds glamorous. It does. A syndicated radio host, you know, with literally 500 million people a day watch him. Literally. I do. 43% better, I feel like. Yeah. Yeah. An amazing story of triumph. Me trying to survive this. Penisgate. I didn't think it would happen to me. George, look at that. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little better. The legend, George Rakov, $100. It feels a little better. Thank you so much. Says, want to see me do it again? Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. We're going to make it through. We're going to do it. We're going to pull out of this penis gate. We are. We're going to make it. I really don't have a plan B, you know? My goodness. Austin Sims. Now, here's Eric. Thank you so much. But my haters know no limits on their depravity. You wouldn't believe what this guy 2 days ago said. 2 days ago, this guy, Austin Hall, said $357 a day, highly unreasonable. That was just 2 days ago, Austin Hall said that. We'll show him. All right, I have to move on. I want to one more time say from the bottom of my heart, I swear to you all, I would not lie about this. I absolutely had set up this interview with the Nigerian hacker that hacked my X account. I had this set up since Sunday. He was going to call in at 8 o'clock. As of 2:30 today, he was a go, and then he's just ghosted me. I have the messages. I read them. I tried to call his number. The number shut down. I did not intentionally bait people. And so, as punishment, I was forced to relive my horrible experiences with Penisgate and Brian Shapiro demanding to see my penis. And you know what it's like to have to stare at the face of your abuser? You know what that's like? It's terrible. But I felt I owed the audience. Yeah, I'm more pissed off about the scammer not calling in than hacking my X account. To be honest. One more time. Well, the plan was to talk about Nigerian hacking for a while and then to do a regular show. So instead we covered Penisgate. So might as well talk about a regular show. Let's talk a little more about our legal system, shall we? Let's start there. We were talking about the legal system here when this ridiculous case that Brian Shapiro was covering with this guy shoved Savannah Hernandez down, and apparently she has a concussion. And I was talking about how in these cities like Minneapolis, Portland, Seattle, law enforcement's basically neutered. They stand back and allow these violent lefties to run the show. On the chance they arrest someone, then you have sympathetic attorney generals and prosecutors. On the chance that they pursue charges, you have sympathetic judges. And on the chance that it gets through that, you have sympathetic juries. As such, we're in a system where our legal system no longer works. And we know this. We know it from everything down to the street violence level right up to the very top. Like, we know that if charges are brought against someone like James Comey for obvious crimes, and we're going to talk about this more, this probably next week, we're going to do a big expose into Eric Charmella, who's now been indicted or recommended for a criminal referral, the whistleblower who should not be named. Remember the Voldemort of whistleblowers. You couldn't name him on social media or you'd get banned. Turns out he lied and broke the law in his whistleblowing in an effort to work in collusion with the Democratic Party to try to sabotage Trump. But that's a story for another day. But at every level in these left-wing dominated areas, because these people feel the rules don't apply to them because they're moral and you're evil, they take these systems and they abuse them. So you could take it when it comes to the street level thugs like Antifa in Seattle. You could take it when it comes to going after ICE agents in places like Minneapolis. You could take it to where it comes to indictments of Donald Trump, 37-time felon in New York under Alvin Bragg for bullshit charges, or the E. John Carroll case. You could take it when you see them blatantly throwing sandwiches and attacking law enforcement officials and having a jury say, nope, we won't convict it. You can see it in the double standards in these left-wing areas like D.C. and who they decide to even go after and pursue charges. You see it in the difference of how the January 6 people were treated versus how the Black Lives Matter people that were rioting and burning down shit were treated. Every single level. Every level, you see it. You even see it when it comes to just procedural things with these judges. Like Judge Boasberg, who was smacked down today. Don't worry, that'll be reversed, and then it's going to end up at the Supreme Court. But how these lower judges are activists. They all feel the rules don't apply to them. Hell, you even see it in cases like when the executive branch that's supposed to enforce the law abdicates that responsibility in order to allow tens of millions of illegals into the country. To them, the rules don't matter. The law doesn't matter. It is merely a tool for power. Then we're told over and over again on the right, you have to play by the rules. You have to go through the system itself that's perverted, corrupted. If I find myself on a jury pool and I see that it's Brian Shapiro, or it's Destiny, or it's Joe Biden, or it's Nancy Pelosi, I swear to you, on my life, that I will try my best to look at the facts of the case and come to what I think is a just conclusion. Even if I despise the person, even if I think that they're a political menace, I will not say the ends justify the means. Now, will I have a bias? Of course. But I will try my best because I find the system to be very important and very sacred. And it's not something that we should abuse in order to just go after our opponents. But the average left-winger is under no such obligation. Who is that person? He's a right-winger? Fuck him. If you want to know how the average person, if they found out that you listen to my show, or heaven forbid you be a conservative streamer or something like this, if you want to find out how the average left-wing jurist would treat you, just look at the thousands upon thousands of videos celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There's an absolute, legitimate chance that Tyler Robinson, even forgoing all of the Candace Owens conspiracy theories, he could be on tape saying, I did it. They could match his forensic blood or something, somehow find it there. And there's a chance that left-wing jurists would be like, not guilty. Fuck it. Charlie was a racist. We don't care. Don't believe me? That's impossible, Rob. No one would do that. No one for petty revenge reasons, for things like racism, would do that, right? That couldn't happen. I remind you again of this clip. This woman was one of the jurors on the O.J. Simpson trial.
Do you think that they're members of the jury that voted to acquit O.J. because of Rodney King?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How many of you think felt that way?
Oh, probably 90% of us.
90%? Did you feel that way?
Yes.
That was payback.
Uh-huh.
You think that's right?
That's how they feel. That's legitimately how they feel. Imagine that. Imagine watching a family, two families, grieving in a trial that were brutally murdered. And you sincerely believe, yes, the evidence shows this person brutally murdered them, but you go, that's okay. I'm going to leave them walk free because I'm pissed off about racism or politics. I could bring up the statistics if you like on black jurists, but it's not just blacks, let's be clear. It's also left-wing jurists. They're willing to take who you are as more important than what it is you're accused of. Ironically, the inversion of what MLK said. Judging you by your characteristics as opposed to the content of what you've done. In fact, let's take a brief break. I promise this isn't the end of the show or anything. Remind you of anything?
Yeah. I'm speaking now. Yeah. I'm speaking now. Long line, same style, bus late, clock don't stop, got work, got plans. Still wear last in their hands. Side eye from the man in the tie, clutches his briefcase, moves to the side. He don't see the weight on my spine, he just sees a story from a lie. I'm speaking now. Everybody hush and listen. I'm speaking now. You gon' hear what you've been missing. Yeah. Every door, you kept locked, we kicking down. I carried all this hurt for ages. She gon' sit and hear these pages. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Hair shop, Sunday, hands in, scalp spray, hot comb, history passed down quietly. Boss says too big for the floor. Cold words, I've heard them before. You don't say less than out loud. You just build a rule to keep us out. I'm speaking now. Everybody hush and listen. I'm speaking now. You gon' hear what you've been missing. Yeah. Every door, you kept locked, we kicking down. I carried all this hurt for ages. You gon' sit and hear these pages. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. You drew lines in red on our blocks, turned our schools into afterthoughts. Underpay us, then say try harder. Blame the seed while you poison water. You make fear our daily weather, then ask why we carry shelter. From the bus stop to the boardroom, we feel your hand in every room. Every room, every room, every room, every room, every room, every room. check. Guard eyes on my neck. Lady clutches her purse so tight, as if my hands ain't full of rice. Doctor's office, pain too real. She writes dramatic on the field. You talk the world, we can take more. Then use that myth to close the door. I'm speaking now. Everybody hush and listen. I'm speaking now. You gon' hear what you've been missing. You kept locked with kicking down. I carried all this hurt for ages. We gon' sit and hear these pages. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. I'm speaking now. Oh, 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 oh. Pass the mic, pass the mic, pass the mic, pass the mic, pass the mic. One by one, we're calling out different names. Same fight, we still here, we still fight. Sounds, turn it up, don't turn us down. I'm speaking now. I'm speaking now. I'm speaking now.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We was kangs and shit. So fuck that white lady, right? Leave that black guy murder him. Fuck him, right? Anyways, the point I'm illustrating is this is so common on the left. This perversion of the justice system at every level. And so every day now it seems we see more and more ridiculous stories. Some guy stabbed someone on a fucking bus somewhere. Oh, he was arrested 30-something times. Someone's deemed incompetent to stand trial, and yet they're allowed then to be left out in the street. How about the story the other day? I didn't even have this up. This fucking ridiculous guy who strangled a baby to death and received like a 50-year sentence in prison decides he wants to be a woman, so the government then has to pay for his trans surgery, so they let him out 30 years early. We have this. 2 years ago, Naomi Guzman doused her father in lighter fluid and tried to set him on fire. Then broke into a church and threatened a priest with a knife. She was found incompetent to stand trial, and she was released. Today, she abducted a toddler and stabbed him before she was shot and killed by police. That is what we're up against. Imagine that you're shopping. I have a 5-year-old, probably around the age of that kid right there. Imagine you're shopping. A deranged woman grabs your shopping cart and a knife she stole from the store and proceeds to slash the face of your toddler. Oh, Andrew's raiding over. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Imagine. And this is the bullshit we deal with on a daily basis. On a daily fucking basis, you hear stories like this. How could a person try to light someone on fire, be deemed too incompetent to stand trial, and so we put them back on the street where they can attack children? Look at that picture. You want to know how that happens? It's the exact same system that allows that violent fucking asshole to shove the turning point reporter in the back and get away with it, and allows them to attack the ICE officers, and allows them to do the fucking ridiculous Black Lives Matter riots over and over again, and throws the book at anyone connected to January 6th and puts them in solitary confinement. And fucking locks up great, more brave people than me that fight for the lives of fucking babies, millions of them that are killed every year around the world, because they're pro-life protesters, and so they've committed some fucking heinous crime, and they have to be raided in front of their fucking families and drug off to some gulag. Meanwhile, surprise, surprise, when family planning centers, Christian centers that try to help women not go through with abortions when they're attacked, you remember what Chris Wray, the head of the FBI, said? Well, we can't do anything about that. Most of those attacks occur in the evening, so it's hard. It's hard to find out who did them. Thank you again, Andrew, for the raid. Much appreciated. We're covering this ridiculous situation, Turning Point USA lady that was attacked by these fucking lefty scumbags that then go on Brian Shapiro's show, and Brian Shapiro runs cover for them. We're just talking about the fucked up legal system, which led to this yesterday. Now, this was a lady who had previously been arrested for dousing a family member in lighter fluid and attempting to light them on fire. The judge let the woman go because she was not competent to stand trial, which then leads to her being back on the street, where she walks up in a grocery store, takes a toddler in a cart, and by the way, I'm not even going to show the picture, but she did actually end up slashing the toddler right along his temple. Only by the grace of God, he's not dead. And kudos to the officer for putting her right where she belongs, in the fucking ground for eternity. What do you do when large swaths of our country is inundated with a legal system that makes that not just the sad but necessary outcome, that's the desired outcome. That's anarcho-tyranny. That's Solzhenitsyn 101. From the Gulag Archipelago, talking about the Bolsheviks. Your punishment for having a knife when they searched you would be very different from the thief's. For him to have a knife was mere misbehavior, tradition. He didn't know any better. Sound familiar? But for you to have one was terrorism. This is not an unfortunate side effect of compassionate lefties. This is the desired outcome of people that want to overrun the system. They want to ban prisons. Only that's not true, is it? They want to ban firearm usage and ban prisons and ban the police. But that's not really true. They just want all of those things under their control to be used against their enemies. That's what's going on. Now, brief aside, the hacker that hacked my X account that I was supposed to interview today, as of 2:30, was a go and was going to do it. And then he ghosted me. I actually tried to call him on air, and it appears that the number has been disconnected. So I apologize for that. Now, I want to take a moment to all of you out there that are infuriated by what you see as lack of progress by the Trump administration. lot of things Trump's done that I heavily criticize. The fucking meme coin. Some of the stupid shit he says. I got my Twitter account back. And I changed all the two-factor. Yeah, I'm good on all that. He's not deporting enough people. I don't particularly like the Iran situation. There's reports we're going to be in Cuba. The foreign policy, I think, largely, I very much dislike. Criticize away. J.D. Vance said it the other day. The idea is not to withdraw from the process. It's to get more involved. Start primarying people. Put pressure on Trump. Put pressure on his allies. Get involved in the political system. Great. But I hear so many people getting blackpilled. Well, then just don't vote. Or vote Democrat. Accelerate. This is acceleration. That's your kid. That's what you're accelerating to. I'm not saying you have to think Trump's perfect. I criticize Republicans probably more than the Democrats do, particularly those in the House and the Senate. That's what you're up against. When your kid's walking over hypodermic needles in San Francisco to get to their public education class so they could be indoctrinated about how white people are evil and that they should be transgender to be put on hormone blockers, as a judge says that you don't have the right to hear what the teachers are teaching your kid, and that they're becoming fucking someone who thinks they're transgender so that they could go in locker rooms with people that are biologically male so that they don't feel comfortable. That's what you're fucking up against. Tens of millions of more illegals left in as they shrug their shoulders and say, we didn't know. Inflation, 12, 13% year over year as they tell you it's the greatest economy ever. That's what you're voting for. There is no, well, let's just accelerate it to a reasonable pace so that we could pull the reins back in. That's what you're up against. There is no reasonability there. The moderate Democrat governor of Virginia, that's what she ran as, a moderate, signed a law ending the tax exemption status for the United Daughters of the Confederacy and other Confederate groups. Now, I'm not a Confederate. I have a deep respect for the Civil War. I'm a nerd about it. I like it. I like going to Gettysburg. But I'm not someone like the South will rise again type guy. I don't have any Confederate flags or any shit like that. I don't consider myself someone who particularly fondly looks back at the Confederates with admiration or anything, other than just admiration of like the soldiers and the shit that they went through. But you don't see the problem with this precedent, even if you don't give a shit about Confederate historical groups? So now a governor could just say, we are eliminating the tax exempt status of groups that I find objectionable. Cool. How about the Democratic Socialists of America? No problem, right? If my state decides to look at a bunch of left-wing groups and say, hey, states' rights, we're eliminating all of your tax-exempt status. No problem, right? Maybe the IRS decides to hyper-specifically look at left-wing groups. If Trump does that, no problem, right? you're Christian, I suggest that one of the biggest causes to you should be the murder of millions of babies in the womb. Under the last administration, how did they treat people that protested that? New Justice Department just released an 800-page report on how President Biden's administration weaponized the FACE Act against pro-life Americans and Americans of faith. The Biden DOJ relied on information gathered from radical pro-abortion groups to track, prosecute, and snoop on peaceful pro-life protesters, according to emails included in that report. One email shows that the DOJ prosecutor, Sanjay Patel, referring to National Abortion Fed's Michael Davidson's as an MVP for flagging pro-life protests to prosecute, which usually result in an investigation or prosecution. Patel was fired yesterday by Todd Blanche for weaponizing the FACE Act, DOJ officials tell me. The emails also show pro-abortion organizations like NAF were providing dossiers to the Biden DOJ with personal information and pictures of pro-life activists who were later arrested by the FBI. For example, this gentleman. Here's a jury questionnaire the DOJ put together in one of the FACE Act cases involving pro-life defendants Calvin Zastrow, Chester Gallagher, Heather Idoni, Joel Curry, Justin Phillips, Eva Edel, and Eva Zastrow. Notice how the jurors are asked if they get their news from The Daily Wire and Matt Walsh and The Daily Signal, where Leif, myself, and Matt Walsh were aggressively covering this weaponization. Many of these individuals were later prosecuted by the Biden administration, as Leif reports. These are just a few examples. As a reminder, fathers of big families like Mark Hoke and Paul Vaughn were arrested at gunpoint in front of their families as part of the effort to target pro-life Americans. We've seen this, but this is Paul Vaughn being arrested in front of his children.
But if you're not going to let me, then I'll just...
No, I want to know why you were banging on my door with a gun. You're not going to tell me anything?
I tried.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You didn't.
Going aggressively after pro-life people for being against abortion. Paul Vaughn, for example, is the Tennessee father of 11 children who was arrested in 2022 for protesting outside of an abortion clinic. A major flag here, the chief legal and strategy officer for the National Abortion Fed told Chip Roy that she pretty much had no influence under the Biden FACE Act prosecutions. As this report shows, the NAF was pivotal to that. Here is in 2025, the National Abortion Fed officer being asked whether or not they were involved in these prosecutions.
You serve as the chief legal and strategy officer at the National Abortion Federation, correct?
Yes.
In this role, have you ever spoken with anyone in the Biden Department of Justice or Biden administration specifically about FACE Act enforcement or abortion?
I have not.
Okay, so you as the chief legal and strategy officer for the National Abortion Federation, you have had no contact with President Biden's abortion task force.
Let me be accurate. I believe I may have had contact. I don't think so, but I may have. But on the issue of FACE enforcement, no, I have not.
You serve as the chief legal and strategy officer at the National.
Now, maybe this woman didn't. Hopefully they'll look into this, but it's clear based on the emails that's not true. That her organization, at least, was. Michelle's been a wonderful, not her, but someone else from that same organization. Michelle's been a wonderful contact for me as it relates to FACE Act investigations. She has been an MVP in bringing incidents to my attention, often in real time, which result in investigation and prosecution. So maybe this woman who's the head of their legal department wasn't involved, but her organization was. The report states, 1, the Biden DOJ violated the rights of Americans by its biased enforcement of the FACE Act. Second, the Biden DOJ collaborated with pro-abortion groups to track pro-life activists' First Amendment activity. Third, the Biden DOJ prosecutors engaged in inappropriate conduct and comments. Fourth, the Biden DOJ pursued more severe charges and significantly harsher sentences for pro-life defendants than violent pro-abortion defendants. Fifth, the Biden DOJ sought to provide funding to pro-abortion groups. For example, the AUSA's tried to screen jurors referred to Christian pro-life views as culty and lambasted the defendants' beliefs in the courtroom. They also complained about ending up with a, quote, very Catholic magistrate on duty this week. The report released by DA Todd Blanche, who said in a statement on Tuesday, this department will not tolerate a two-tiered system of justice. No department should conduct selective prosecution based on beliefs. The weaponization that happened under the Biden administration will not happen again as we restore integrity to our prosecutorial system. September 23rd, 2022. Mark Hoke's 7 children wake to FBI agents banging on the front door. They're startled and confused. When they looked over the railing, they saw guns pointed at mom and daddy. Their dad was hauled away in handcuffs. Why was Mark targeted? He prayed outside an abortion clinic with his kids. An abortion clinic worker harassed his son. Mark pushed him away. Local authorities dismissed the incident. The Biden DOJ decided to make an example of him. They lost. President Trump pardoned many of the pro-life activists who were targeted by the Biden DOJ shortly after he took office, freeing a number of them from prison. They should have never been prosecuted, said Trump. Now, with all the failures of Trump, at least he stood up for some of these pro-life protesters. That's what accelerationism looks like. Accelerationism looks like more babies being murdered and you being arrested for being upset with it. That's accelerationism. That's don't go vote. That's what the black pill looks like. Does that mean you shouldn't criticize the shit out of Trump, Republicans? Of course not. In fact, criticize more. Great. Get involved. Run for office. Support people that are more conservative, more right-wing. I agree. Trump doesn't go nearly far enough. Totally agree. I promise I'll get to super chats here in a minute, but to follow up with this insane double standard legal system and how fucked up it is in so many cases. We all have biases. We all have groups. We're all tribal groups that we have an affinity for. Obviously, my groups are groups that I'm connected to. For example, my family. I like rural people. It's a group that I have an affinity for. Christians. How about white people? Yeah, sure. Americans? Yep. We all have our groups. That's fine. One group that I personally, well, I hope, I don't know, I guess arguably, am not a part of, but I happen to have an affinity for is people with developmental disabilities. I worked with adults with autism and other disabilities for some 15, 16 years. Some of the people I worked with to this day are some of my best friends. I think they're amazing people that really mean a lot to me. And I remember when this case that I'm about to talk to you about broke, I remember seeing the footage. The footage is so bad, I don't know that I could play some of it on YouTube. Does anyone remember this case? This white kid with disability was captured by these four nice youths. They filmed it all. They made him drink toilet water. They carved his face, his forehead with a knife. Poor kid, scared shitless. These fucking animals went at him. Here's Amari King, he reminds you. Remember when 4 black thugs kidnapped a white teenager with special needs and tortured him for 2 straight days? They tied him up, made him drink toilet water, beat him, scalped a portion of his head, and shouted racial slurs the entire time. Brittany Covington received 4 years probation. Tanisha Covington was sentenced to 3 years in prison, but served less than 18 months. Tesfaye Cooper was sentenced to 7 years, but served less than 3.5. Jordan Hill was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but served less than 4. Tanisha Covington is currently back in IDOC on a new 2024 conviction for aggravated battery to a peace officer. Jordan Hill is back in custody after violating parole. Now, I want you to imagine that the roles would be reversed. It would be outrage. I would be outraged. Imagine some black kid with disabilities, 4 white kids for 2 days tortured him, yelling racial slurs, scalping him, making him drink toilet water. And then imagine that those white kids were left out in a year, some of them not even sent to prison. And they filmed it all. There was no doubt they were guilty. Today, Amari King, update. Remember when those 4 animals kidnapped the 18-year-old with special needs and beat and tortured him on Facebook live stream? One of them's in the news again. Tesfaye Cooper chased down and beat and robbed a white cyclist. Over and over and over and over again. The same fucking story. So when you see, like we started off, and I know this is a repeat for those that have been with me the whole time, but we did have a raid. We got on this because, yes, the Nigerian scammer did not call in. He seemed to have canceled his phone number, which is a bummer. So instead we covered a man who's a menace in his own right, Brian Shapiro. And his guest that he had on today. Remember, Brian, very much against violence of all stripes. That's his claim. Here's these 2 sweet old folks that he has on the left here. They're very nice.
So you and your wife and your daughter, can you say it's categorically false if anybody says that you guys are violent people?
We are absolutely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it. In fact, Jolly Ginger, who's a known protester out there, he was on the front lines with me, and he made fun of me the last time he was up here because he said, Chris, until you're up there in front yelling at the cops with the intent to possibly get arrested, you're not really a protester. So he was joking with me because he knows I'm always the guy in the back. I tend to stay away from anything. In fact, that day, you'll see, I was not even up in the front at all during this whole event. I just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise. But
yeah, those damn whistles. Now, again, I'm not going to rehash it too much, but notice how Brian, Mr. Objective, I don't like violence, the fucking morons that he's interviewing, right? What they really feel is we're good people and she's a bad person, Savannah Hernandez. So we wanted her to get the fuck out of there. You even hear him say it at the end. We just wanted her gone because they feel like they own the city. They own the streets. They don't have to hear voices and free speech that disagrees with them. They're good people. So they're justified doing all this shit. Well, even dumbass Brian Shapiro knows that's not exactly the best legal strategy or best legal optics. So Brian's just going to shove fucking words in their mouth of what they feel. Shameless. But remember, he's not pious. He's not partisan. He hates violence like that. Here, let's...
But of
course. I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter, That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that a fair characterization of your story of what took place?
I believe that's a fair characterization. I mean, you said it. That's
you said
what
it,
I
not
believe,
me.
and I just wanted her to leave. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her to leave so that this whole thing would stop.
Yeah.
See, it's okay. You might be saying, what happened? Oh, here, let's show you a couple videos. Here's these nice, peaceful people. Here we go.
Stop touching me! You fucking touched me! Jesus Christ! I had a 200-pound man that shoulder checked me. This woman is...
See, they're just peaceful. These are peaceful people that were in the back. Oh my goodness. They didn't do anything. And if you're not convinced, well, luckily, there were a lot of cameras there. There's innocent dad, remember? Oh, it was hard to concentrate because all the whistles, he said. Remember? I was in the back. We weren't doing anything. I had to shove that woman in the back because she was a threat to my daughter. Here's dad telling his daughter, go get the whistle in the car and blow it in her fucking ear. Now, if you've looked into this whatsoever, literally, this is assault. Blowing those shrill whistles immediately in someone's ear is not only painful, but it's designed to cause confusion. It neurologically fucks with you, and it elicits reactions back. So they blow the whistle in your ear knowing that it hurts, so when you shove them back, they then get to say, see, you were violent. So here's super peaceful dad just protecting his daughter by sending his daughter to, and I'm quoting, blow it in her fucking ear.
Where's the whistle? It's in the car. Right in her ear. Don't touch this whistle right in her fucking ear. Whistle in her goddamn ear. People are doing it back here. Go right in her fucking ear.
So now he sent his daughter off to blow the whistle in this woman that they've surrounded's ear. But remember, he's peaceful. They're nonviolent. They just stand in the back.
I'm watching my wife. Yeah, your wife. I'm pulling her back. Please don't fucking deck her.
This guy, I'm holding your wife back from assaulting this woman. But they're peaceful. Trust them, they're peaceful people.
You want, if we did the same thing they claim. But it's PPUSA, so it's going all the That's right. That's what my daughter said.
There you see his daughter moving up in the center there to start blowing the whistle right in her ear.
It's gonna be the most boring fucking video to watch ever, bro.
Now remember, he couldn't help himself. He told Brian Shapiro, we just wanted her to leave. They're trying to chase her out. Her free speech doesn't matter. So that's why it wasn't enough that they surrounded her, were doing the bullhorns, the sirens, the blowing the whistles. No, it had to be more painful. Blow it right in her fucking face, right in her ear. Yeah, she's doing it in her ear, he says. Then this woman said,
yeah, she's doing it in her ear.
Your daughter's about to throw hands as well. Remember, peaceful people. They didn't start anything. Even the people on their side are like, we have to hold your wife back. She's trying to your daughter's trying to fight her.
Because the girl's trying to do shit to her.
Now the girl's trying to do shit to her. How? How was the girl trying to do shit to her when your daughter was back with you? Not within reach of this woman. You just sent your daughter with a whistle to assault this woman. Now, immediately, within 3 seconds, he's like, wow, of course my daughter's trying to fight her because she's trying to do shit to my daughter.
I told my daughter to go blow it.
Now, there's the daughter. You see her leaning up, blowing the whistle right in the fucking ear. See her there? There's dear old dad, 4 people behind. Notice how even when the crowd gets what they want and the woman starts to leave, what do? Keep shoving her, keep blowing the whistles right in her ear, keep following her. Now they're waving dildos in her face. There's the daughter swinging at her. Now, daughter pushes, mom pushes, woman walking away, crowd still following her, and dad's argument is, I had to go shove this woman in the back to protect my daughter. Okay, let's see. There's mom hitting her and daughter. Now notice how they're separated. Look at this gentleman, center screen. Mom and daughter are way away now. Woman with many people in between them. Woman walking away that mom and daughter was following. And now dad has to shove her in the back to protect mom and daughter.
Oh my God!
Now, you could believe that, or you could push the limits and listen to Brian Shapiro tell you what happened.
Just stayed back and kind of watched what was going on and tried to hear, which was really hard to hear stuff because of the whistles and all the noise.
Right.
But that's,
of course,
I was in the back.
I want to make sure I categorize everything correctly. So based on what your attorney said, based on the videos that I've seen, you are a father who's never been arrested for a crime in his life. You guys are making the claim that Savannah made physical contact first with your daughter. That's when your wife got involved. And then there was a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, mini scuffle there. And then at that moment, when you pushed her in the back, you did that out of fear because you were protecting your family. And you are saying that your daughter and your wife were assaulted. Is that a fair characterization of your story of what took place?
I believe that's a fair character.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for clearing that up. I'm sure he did his due diligence trying to look at the videos. Thanks, dude. Well, there you have it. After all, Brian Shapiro's unbiased, right? He's not a lefty. Don't call him a liberal. Don't call him a lefty. Right? He's not biased. He despises political violence. January 6th, right? Now he has his chance. Here's someone engaged in political violence. Get him, Brian. Get him. Just like when he had Don Lemon on, when they raided into a church. Get him, Brian. Oh, it's different. He's not a lefty, but for some reason, when the violence and intimidation comes from the left, well, it's different. Super chats. Naughty Germ, thank you for the $5, my friend. Really appreciate it as always. Nate the Eagle becomes a member, says, not one step back, my fellow PA native. Damn right. Out here in rural Western PA. Yeah. Bowden Miller, thanks for being a member. Robert Whaley, 17 months. My goodness, says, not one step back. Rob. Crucible Crusader, 9 months a member. Did that Nigerian ever show up, Rob? Not one step back. Nah, the bastard scammed me again. Didn't show up. Did not show up. Happiest Girl, thanks so much. Happiest Girl 69, jeez. Thanks so much for the membership. Crucible Crusader, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Amazing. Thanks so much, man. Ilsley Robert, $5 says, what's the world coming to when you can't even trust Nigerian hackers? That's what I'm saying. Hefe Vaughn, I think I got that right. $5 says, man, if you can't trust Nigerian scammer nowadays, who can you trust? This country. Thanks, Joe Biden. Thanks, Obama. Ilsley Robert, again, $5 says, fellow Rob, are we on the right willing to accept leaders who violate the Constitution on our behalf? Our options are getting fewer. If I have to choose between someone who's going to violate the Constitution that wants to end my way of life and attack me and my children for our faith and for our skin color versus someone who violates the Constitution who's not targeting me for those reasons, I'd choose the latter. But I'm not happy about violation of the Constitutions. I think that many of the times people say Trump are, it's largely overstated. Or it's things that are ubiquitous with every president. Like you could say, oh, they didn't declare war, which is a violation of the Constitution. Okay. So's every president done in my lifetime. Reverse Massage, $5 says, my brother I lost in December with special needs. Sorry to hear that, man. I really am. So Super Chat won't let me tell what I want to do to these people. It's fucking horrible. Sorry, man. Justin O'Dizzle, $20 says, why are you trying to in trouble, brah? Ruffling my feathers? Thank you, man. But now you have an idea when you look at that Brian Shapiro segment and that guy shoving. All of those stories that I showed you today about our legal system and its failures and the two-tiered system. From the fucking bottom to the street thugs that push some lady like this Turning Point USA lady, all the way to the top to we're going to go after Catholics or we're going to go after pro-life people. The whole system in these left-wing dominated areas. Meanwhile, the do-nothing Republicans in the Senate clutch their pearls about norms. Wyatt Clark, $5. Thank you so much, my friend. Opinion Shirt says, has anyone ever noticed? No offense, just a funny observation. Rob looks like what would happen if Royce ate Mersh. I'd comment, but I don't know who those people are. Any help? Who's Royce and Mersh? Fuck you, I'm trying to lose weight. Not eating people, I promise. Jim Hayes, thanks for the 10, man. Really appreciate it. Says, brilliant content as always. Thanks for everything, brother. Not one step back. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Norms? Yeah, maybe, huh? Now I want to know who Royce and Mersh are. I'm not looking it up. I don't do that shit. Now, of course, as people know, especially fat guys like me, this is true of me. When I get anxiety, I do eat. It's true. It's not good. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's true. And, you know, when you have a powerful syndicated radio host that makes disgusting demands of you, it can cause anxiety. Now, for those of you that have listened to the lies of Brian Shapiro, that he did not ask to see my penis, I hate to do this. It's reliving the trauma all over again. But here you go. Allegedly, as you were taking that woman's money, is that what you said to her? Why don't you show me your tits? Is that what you said? Is that some of the alleged abuse that you gave to that woman? Is that some of it?
You went personal with me when you lose a debate.
One more time. First, he asked to see my tits, and then I was like, is that what you said to that other woman? And then he came out with it. Allegedly, as you were taking that woman's money, is that what you said to her? Why don't you show me your tits? Is that what you said? Is that some of the alleged abuse that you gave to that woman? Is that some of it?
You went personal with me when you lose a debate.
And so, I remind you, for those that rate it over, I have been talking to a therapist. And she told me that the best thing I could do is put my feelings down on paper. And so I turned it into a song. And I'll play the song for you one more time here tonight. She also says the only thing that'll make me feel better is super chats over $100. That might help. Seems the only person that cares about me is the great George Rakov, who not once but twice helped ease my pain.
Humbly debating folks online, talking politics and chatting about life. When I got noticed by the coolest of chats, a radio host with an image that was rad. But then things turned and I got burned. He got angry when he got spurned. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate. I cried to myself in my second floor attic. My entire life just now feels like it's static. He says it's about a thing called respect, but it treats me as if I'm just an object. He said he wants to help me, but he just wants to see my weenie. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate. Brian Shapiro asked to see my penis. He growled his demand like it was his deepest wish. He threatened to box me and proceeded to berate. And now I'm the victim of this terrible penis gate.
Thank you for your understanding and helping me get through these difficult times. I didn't know that I would suffer through a penis gate type situation, but here I am. The super chats do help, though. GG, Gives $2 and says over $100. Thank you. That helps a little. Isley Robert says, Rob, my point is we need to put commie judges and politicians in prison, even if there's no evidence. I wouldn't be a fan of that, right? I think that there is enough evidence that we don't need to just pretend there isn't. That's my point. Justin O'Dizzle, $10, thank you, says, get me in trouble. I was just messing with you, brother. Keep up the good fight. I never get in trouble. That's good. Thanks, man. Vita, $5, says, so it's definitely proven the CIA Obama admin tried to coup Trump, right? Of course. Wonder if Destiny will say, well, of course they did, Rob. That's my argument. Of course. We're going to talk about that probably early next week. The stuff that Tulsi's released. And Phil James, $5, says, now I am the victim. I am the victim now. Yeah. Of course, fuck it. While we're playing songs, I might as well mention the Nigerian scammer that hacked my fucking X account was supposed to call in today for an interview. I did get my X account back, but he ghosted me. I assume his hacker buddies told him not to do it. I wasn't going to try to out the guy or anything. I was just interested to talk with him. So now he makes me look like an idiot. But for those that followed the saga, somehow my account, once it was hacked, started to be a purveyor of crypto wisdom. And the wisdom of the great coach Mim, who apparently was some sort of crypto guru coach that was buying Toyota fucking Tacomas or Tundras and new houses. And so we did prepare. We did a show all about it. We'll play that one real quick. Here we go.
On my mind, Naja on my plate. On my little phone, I dey buy a stage. Study with small change that I bundle. Now my wallet heavy like Toyota Tundra. Neighbors in my house say, who be this uncle? I say, na small internet also no wahala. I shout, yes sir! When the chart go higher, eating fried plantain with American swagger. My mama asks, you sure say this thing legal? I say, mommy relax, I be digital eagle. Cryptocurrency, turn me to big baller. From one small room to mansion with crawler. New thunder outside, see the paint color. Everybody shout, I'ma send me the dollar. Cryptocurrency, money just a shower. 100,000 plus every blessed hour. I dey thank God, I dey thank my root. And now why my laugh on they sound like power. My guy they vexy, teach me that thing. I say, first buy data make a hearing. He say, Omo, you can't they speak for him. I say, bro, the accent of the winning team. I dey drop so yeah, but I talk like cowboy. Howdy, partner. As I count my coins, I stay at the gen, look me like I be envoy. I pay out right man, no fee I enjoy. Cryptocurrency, turn me to big baller. From one small room to mansion with crawler. New thunder outside, see the paint color. Everybody shout, I'ma send me the dollar. Cryptocurrency, money just a shower. 100,000 plus every blessed hour. I dey thank God, I dey thank my root. And now I my laugh and they sound like power. From Okada to Tundra. From neighbor generator to solar. From who you be to saw, we hell ya. Or become my coin to Zangala. Zanga, 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 Zanga. Cryptocurrency, turn me to big baller. From one small room to mansion with crawler. New thunder outside, see the paint color. Everybody shout, I'ma send me the dollar. Cryptocurrency, money just a shower. 100,000 plus every blessed hour. I dey thank God, I dey thank my root. And now why my laugh when they sound like power. Tell her on my mind.
Ah, thanks, Coach Mim. We all thank you so much for your financial advice. I know we're all like, what's funny about this show is everyone that's been with me and followed the great crypto advice of my hacked ex-accountant, the great Coach Mim. I know we're all cruising around in Toyotas, right? We all bought new houses. NT Will did not like that. He must have missed out on Coach Mim's, right? Advice. Of course, you could send some of that Coach Mim crypto money my way. Oh, Donnie Boy, he's got a banger. He said it like, look, he said it here, and then he said it again. You got it, Donnie Boy. You got it. You got a banger there. God, Coach Mim told me to put my money at Trump coin at 60, and now it's under 3. When did Coach Mim tell you that? How long have you been communicating with Coach Mim? Because I don't know that it's been at 60 for quite some time. Ah, yes. We're all rich now. The Yoda gang. Yeah. We're going to roll up to the debate con in our fucking new Toyotas. Right? Let me tell you about crypto. You should invest in it. Bam. Blockchain. Of course, I did show you guys the blockchain. People were testing if I was really, if really I knew about crypto, and I was explaining about the blockchain the other night, and how important it is to protect your money with the blockchain. And everybody thought, oh, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to Coach Mim. Of course, we all know the blockchain's about keeping your money secure so people can't get their hands on it. So if you get yourself a blockchain like this and then keep your money there, it's really hard for people to steal it. The blockchain's very vigilant. It will protect your shit. So that's why you invest in crypto. And then you get the Toyotas and the new... Coach Mim told me all about this. That's the chain chomp. You guys don't know chain chomp? I mean, blockchain. That's the blockchain. What was that guy's name that started Bitcoin? Satoshi or something? Yeah, that's what he had in mind. That's what's going on. You take a bunch of coins and you put them in that block, and then who the fuck's going to get your money? No one. Right? Coach Mim knows. Coach Mim knows. All right. Let my audience down. I feel bad. I feel bad that the Nigerian hacker did not call in. But I had fun with the show tonight regardless. Now, we're not done yet, but let me advertise tomorrow's show. At 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a no prep debate right here on all the channels you're watching now and over on Speakeasy's channel. Yoshi Satoshi, right? Yeah. I don't know who came up with that joke, Andy will. Yeah, hacker123. That was literally the password. So no prep debate. That's where my opponents had weeks to prep for me. They will pick the topic. I don't know who my opponent is. I don't know what the topic is. I'll find out in real time, and then we'll do the debate. I did get full control of my account back, yeah. I don't know the debate topic. That's what makes it fun. My opponents know. I don't. Now, Speakeasy tries to make sure it's a topic that I'll probably disagree with. Thank you, Andrew Shapiro. I'm glad someone's going to get to the bottom of this shit. So it should be a lot of fun. That's going to start at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Friday, depending on how late I'm up, for the no prep debate tomorrow evening. Friday, I may stream in the morning, and maybe we'll do a good old-fashioned call-in show. Now, the idea is going to be with the call-in shows, I'm going to start the show off, and I'm going to be like, here's some potential topics, and it's going to be like a half an hour. Hey, how you doing? Here's what I was looking at today, if you guys want to call in and talk about it. And then we're going to end the YouTube portion, and it'll be Rumble exclusive. Because all of the trolls trying to get my channel shut down, because certain channels hate raid me and tell their people to troll me, and they say they're going to get my channel banned, which is what they're trying to do on YouTube. So they'll say racial slurs and things of that nature. I can't do it on YouTube right now. So we'll start in YouTube. We'll start in all the platforms. And then about a half hour in, when it's time to start taking calls, we're going to move over to Rumble. So you'll have to be following me on Rumble to get to the call-in portion of it. But now I can't guarantee that's going to happen Friday, because sometimes with these no prep debates, I'm up debating until like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I'm not going to wake up 3 hours later and do a call-in show. It's just not going to happen. So, but I do want to test this format, and I think it's a format that I'll try to use going forward. It does two things. One, it brings back that call-in show, which I very much enjoyed. And second, it helps me diversify my audience to pushing it over to Rumble as well as just YouTube. You know, because the thing with YouTube, look, I've had a pretty good time on YouTube. That's where I make the most of my money. That's where the majority of people watch me, and I'm very thankful for that. I am. But the thing about YouTube is they can snap their fingers and you're gone. You're demonetized, your channel's banned, whatever. And I've had problems. Luckily, YouTube's helped me out largely, but there's been times when my channel's just been screwed with, and it's ridiculous. And there are a group of people out there, because they're upset for various reasons, that have made it a mission to try to get a channel like mine banned. So it would be prudent to make sure that we're diversifying. The other thing that we're going to bring back, do you remember the time that we did a Discord invasion? And it's where we set up a Discord room, and it was like me debating like 12 people in this Discord room. The problem was we set it up on YouTube. And so once I started crushing all these people at debate, they just started shouting N-words. So I had to leave. So what we're going to do is do those on Rumble, because Rumble is going to be more reasonable. So if they decide to spurg out and just shout N-words and stuff, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Yeah, you can do the dump button, but what good is it? You're just dumping the show every day because the same trolls are doing it? So there is going to be reason for people to switch over to Discord, to Rumble as well. Now, I know that there's problems. Like, let's be honest. I like Rumble. I appreciate their free speech message. I do the extravaganza over on Rumble a lot. I stream every night to Rumble. I enjoy it. I understand some of the ease of use features for both creators and for people that are viewers aren't as good on Rumble as they are on other places. I get that. But I ultimately think they're advancing in the right direction. They've always been free speech oriented, and they're looking out for people like me. So I'm more than happy to try to steer an audience over there. And I know the Rumblers, the 37 of them over there right now, they'll appreciate more people coming over to yell at, etc. Super chats. Until Wild gives 3 in a row. 5 first. Thanks so much. This line, Brian's a piece of human garbage. $2 says, Rob, let's go late tonight, brother. Well, if donos come in, we'll go late. And then Until Wild, $5 says, can I give some negative pushback in the Noah prep shows? Sure. Push away. 2 opponents. I don't think that's going to happen. It's tough enough to get opponents. There are problems with the no prep debate. I get it. The topics have been wanting. Look, in general, here's the general problem that's going on. Not a lot of left-wing people are debating right now, and they don't want to debate someone like me. So most of these people I'm debating on the no prep debates are right-wingers. which isn't as fun. And so right-wingers are going to agree a lot with each other. So they're finding shit on the fringes to argue about. So you end up with topics like, is demanding super chats alienating the chat? Or should there be objective standards for what we call art? Now, these aren't topics that are lighting the world on fire. I want to debate like fucking politics, but it's hard. Like, for example, Chris Lestrange that we did the art topic. He probably agrees with me on 95% of the political shit. Yeah, I agree with that, Kate Thomas. A lot of times they screw themselves in the way they write their prompt. Remember, they're picking the topic, not me. I like the art topic too. I've enjoyed debating most of them. Now, I'll tell you that I'm trying to remedy this. So I'm trying to set up debates in other formats with other people as well that is geared towards trying to get political debates primarily from left-wing people. So it is something I'm working on. Look, there's other things that are going on in the background too that will significantly change sort of. I don't want to say that. I don't think it would significantly change the show, but it's going to be exciting opportunities for me that's going to lead me in different directions. I think it'll be for the better for the show as well. But I think those opportunities will lead to me having more collaborations with other right-wing streamers and more opportunities to debate. So, Art Bell, Coast to Coast. Oh, goodness. Miss those days, man. Am I going to be president? Never! No. I don't want to run for Congress or be a politician anymore. I'm good. So, anyways, that's where we stand. Now, we're 91% of the way to our goal. I think we can get to 100. I think we could soar past 100. However, I must warn you, for the folks that are watching, this is the part of the show where we just grift. So 2/3 of you will leave. No hard feelings whatsoever. I don't blame you. I too would leave if I wasn't the host of this terrible, terrible portion of the show. In the most general capacity, this is what happens, if I could explain it. There was this Lord of the Rings song from this old Lord of the Rings cartoon called Where There's a Whip, There's a Way. I thought it was funny to play it as a little joke like, haha, you guys should donate to me. Psh, got a whip out, right? And then people kept demanding I played it. So then I was like, sure, I'll charge a little bit of money. And then it got ridiculous. And so I was like, then I'll charge a lot of money. And people still donate that money to hear these stupid ass songs. Half of my audience mutinied and were furious because we used to play the songs during the show. And I too was pissed off about it. So we came to the agreement that I would reserve the end of all of my shows. That if people wanted to donate money to hear these bullshit songs, so be it. I hate it, but I do like money, so I tolerate it. And it makes me a miserable sack of shit, even if I'm having a good day. That's it. That's how we end up. So at this portion of the show, any $100 donation that we had, I will play a song from the Whip Wheel, a wheel of 90-something versions of the same fucking song that we have. The same song. The lyrics are the same. The versions are different. We have 98 versions. So for $100, a singular $100 donation, we spin the wheel once, play the song. At this portion, though, now that we've officially started, anytime we make it over a $100, even $100 amount, in this case, the next one would be $400, we'll also spin the wheel. So 3 people could donate 20, 20, and 10, and that would be one whip song. Or if someone donates a $100 donation, that would be 1 spin for the 100 plus 1 spin for going over the even $100 amount of 400. You could pick a specific song for $150, or you could create a new version for $200. I owe 2 whip songs. That's what I owe. Baxter Boy, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate it. Intel Wild, $5 says my competition has been dog shit. I'm too good. We'll see. We'll see what we got. Someday I'll get wrecked, maybe. Intel Wild 20 says, Rob, can we hear again the Shapiro asked to see my penis? Maybe at the end. All right. I owe 2. 2 songs. Here we go. Let them be mercifully quick and not the dumb ones. See you, Lavin. Lavin's the only smart one around here. And we've stumbled upon the literal worst fucking one. I have nothing to say. I have nothing but contempt for this bullshit stuff, and this is the worst of the worst. Enjoy.
There's a way where there's a whip. There's a way. We don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says, nay, 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 we're gonna march all day. All day, all day. Where there's a will, there's a way. Oh, 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 where there's a whip, there's a way. A crack on the back says we're gonna fight. We're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war.
Everybody fuck. Oh. Yeah. Everybody pleased? Everybody got their money's worth? Wade Boggs, thank you so much, as always, my friend, for $100. Says you mean like this. That'll be 2 whip songs. I owe 3. Adamant, $5. Did you ever figure out how the Nigerian got your X account? Also, have you ever seen the video of Leonard Nimoy singing Ballad of Bilbo Baggins? I've not seen the latter. Yes, I have figured out how they got my X account. Long story short, I got a DM from someone who was a follower of mine whose name I recognized that I knew had streamed a couple times and was trying to stream, but I hadn't seen them for a while. They sent me a thing that said, hey, I'm in this local contest. If you vote for me and I'm one of the top people, I get to do this podcast. Can you please go over and vote for me? I clicked the link. That's it. Once they hacked my account, they sent that same DM to a bunch of people that follow me on X. So don't click it. It's a phishing link. But that was it. Hellstorm, thanks so much, man. $100 says, show me your whipness, Rob. Brian Shapiro. Thank you so much. Incredibly generous. I now have 5 songs. Sears Site, $5. What's up, man? It says good evening. Thank you. Good evening to you. All right, so we've successfully drummed out 100 people with just one experimental wolf jazz song. 5 more to go. Oh, I forgot to add it to the stage. Please, no more of that one. It's wrong. Just imagine. Like, I like to imagine that there's someone like, wow, Rob's content was very good tonight. There was some silliness with a couple of those songs, but man, he was really hitting home about this point about like anarcho-tyranny. Good stuff. I'm going to stick around and see what the end of this show's about. And now they're like, I fucking hate this guy. I hate him with all my heart. What the fuck is a Peruvian space lobster?
Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a way, there's a way. We don't wanna go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, where there's a will, where there's a way, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a will, where there's a way, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a whip, left, right, left, right, left. Where there's a whip, there's a whip, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, A crack on the back says we're gonna fight, we're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war.
4 more.
The whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. We don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where the whip, where the whip, where there's a whip, the whip. Yeah. Where there's a whip, there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way, there's a way. Where there's a whip, left, right, left, right, left, right. Where there's a whip, there's a way, left, right, left, right. A crack in the back says we're gonna fight, we're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war. There's a whip, there's a way out.
Okay, 3 more. Perhaps you'll like opera, Marcel. I'm sure it's great.
Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. back says we're gonna fight. We're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war.
I think this is the last one, mercifully. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like some 1920s scat. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, there's a whip, there's a way. Well, there's a whip, there's a way. We don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Light says, no, no, no. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where's the whip? There's a way. Where there's a whip, 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 there's a way. Left, right, way. Left, right, there's a way. There's a left, right, left. Where's the whip? There's a whip, there's a way. A crack on the back, still gonna fight. We're gonna march all day and night and more. But we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war.
I see Are We Not Men says I owe one more. I'll take his word this time. This is it. Miserable, miserable, miserable. Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, my. I love the fact that, like, I'm actively angering people that otherwise enjoy the show. It's
There's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a We don't wanna go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. 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 Left to right, left to way. Where there's a whip, a crack on the back. Says we're gonna fight, we're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the dark world.
oh no, that's what we wanted. We done. Thank you. Kyle ran a mile. Thank you so much. $5 is where there's a whip. Thank you. Well, we are a full $34 away from another whip song. I think we escape. Me and Vic have done a stream together. We'll do one soon, yeah. You're preaching to the choir. The point is to be a dick, is I think the point. Even if there's the odd style that I'd be like, oh, that wasn't bad to hear once. I've heard each of these songs fucking dozens of times. Yeah, we've done. Yeah, Hello Listener's been on the show as well. Yeah, I'm bringing, of course. Anytime. All righty. If everybody's got the whip song donations out of their system, I remind you, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and all of these channels that you're watching, Kick, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, X, I will be doing a no prep debate. My opponent will have been prepping for weeks. They'll know the topic. I don't know who my opponent is. I don't know the topic. I will be told the topic and who I'm debating. They'll do their intro, and then I'll debate. And I'll win because I'm fucking on. Someday I'll lose, but so far I've been doing pretty good. Look, I'm a pretty humble guy, but I'm pretty fucking good at debate. I think I'm pretty good. So even if you don't think I win all the time, I think I'll at least keep it competitive. But I think I'll win. So should be fun. 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Then, depending on how late that goes, maybe Friday at like 9 a.m., we'll be doing a call-in show that will transition to Rumble only. It'll start on YouTube as well, but okay. Who is streaming tonight that we could raid over on the YouTubes? Oh. Neck just cracked. Crazy. We'll raid Cool Vic. Haven't raided him for a while. You thought I lost the debate over Chris Lestrange? I don't think I lost it, but that's okay. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Abe's cool too, but we'll raid Cool tonight. Cool raided me the other day. I like to give back. All right. Going once. Dono's done. Going twice. All righty. All right. Rob gets to bed tonight. Thank you so much to Avarice, my editor, Black Elk, who is amazing. Thank you to all of my moderators, particularly Are We Not Men, Naughty Germ, Achilles Ware. Really appreciate it. Everyone who donated money means a lot, even if it's to torment me playing whip songs. I do appreciate it. I really do. Thanks so much to everyone who liked the stream, who chatted, who just watched and didn't chat. Appreciate it all. Really do. I won't delete it. I don't think there's any reason to delete this one tonight. So, we're going to raid over to Cool Vic. We talked a lot about anarcho-tyranny today and about conservatives being attacked, our justice system protecting left-wingers that are using this violence and going after right-wingers. Don't forget the real human cost that it has and what the extent of that looks like when you take it to the logical extension. That's the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the mass cheering on of it by so many people on the left, the mocking him, the mocking his family. Never forget that's what the stakes are. So say a prayer for Charlie, for his family. And don't forget that that's what the stakes are. So I will see you all tomorrow evening. I hope you guys have a good time over on Cool Vic Show. And as always, have a good one.
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.